Hey guys, what's going on? So we're gonna be working on the fire pit version 2 today. We got to start over, unfortunately. The other fire pit just was not big enough. It looks like Triceratops is gonna be hanging out with us for at least a little bit. But if you're watching this now or in the future, hit that like and subscribe. It helps me a ton. Whether you're watching on TikTok, YouTube, Kick, Twitch, any of it, help me out. Okay. Especially if you like watching sculpting, mold making, special effects, any of that fun jazz. So I guess without further ado, let's roll into it here. Okay, so here we go. Bam. Okay, so some of you have seen. So I'm still running some tests with the other fire pit, but we need to make it bigger, which means I have to make the actual fire pit much larger, not just the flames. This was the original one. I actually casted a few different versions of it. So this was the one we were working on where we had the flames coming out and LEDs, which I think I still have this version of the flames that we sculpted separately. It kind of sat like that. And you know, we had some luck, but ultimately not enough luck. So we have to start again. So as you can tell, basically what I did was I casted another version of this fire pit solid, and this one's hollow. I cast another one solid, and then I literally broke off all the stones. Thank you so much for the follow. If you guys like model making, special effects, stuff like that, this is going to be part of a diorama for the Armsy you see back here. So I chipped off all the stones and then ground them down with a Dremel, so we can start again basically with bigger. I did sculpt one extra stone. I did not feel like going back outside and hunting down another stone, as these ones were difficult enough to kind of find the right size. So I just kind of sculpted one. Okay, there's tons of different types of stones out there. Okay, this one is the one I'm using. So let's get started. I have a bunch of hard Chavant clay sitting in my heat box over here that we're going to start putting in there. So yeah, like I said, Triceratops is just quietly sitting in the background right now.
Indeed.
What up, camcorder? How's it going? Oh god. Okay. Oh, that was a mistake. Just let it. Fuck. Sorry. I'm sorry. I just burned myself on clay. I swear I had the temp on this thing turned way down. Sorry for that very loud curse, but my hands literally are on fire right now. It's like one of those situations where you get hot glue on your fingers, and like it actually makes it worse to try and wipe it off.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Molten clay, no fun. What up, camcorder? I applied at the company on Thursday, and today was the interview, and I got myself a mentor. Nice. Wait, what company? I'm dying to know what company, because I think I know some companies out there in Detroit. Someone apparently applied to just say an adult toy company, and they live in Michigan. What was the name of that?
I know a customer in Detroit that sounds like a toy company.
Well, yeah, what one is that? What's the name?
They were just called like Toy Artistry LLC.
It's in the UK? So you're gonna work remotely? Okay. That's pretty cool. Alright. This shit needs to cool down before I stick my hand back in it. It's called Eikai Akifu? Huh. That's weird. I've never heard of that. Their new name is Akifu. Yeah, I've never heard of that. Huh. Okay, so again, let's take a... Do I have a measuring tape? It'd be really awesome if I had a measuring tape. They used to be Griffin? I have never heard of either of those. All right, so this is roughly probably at its widest point. It's probably like here. to there. Actually, let's do this. Say it's about, gosh, come on now. Just at 5 inches. Then the new widest point's gonna be, we need to make it a wee bit bigger, I think. So what if we turn this one, playing, frickin' Stonehenge here.
Stonehenge. I too am playing Stonehenge.
Yeah, in a different way. They are fantasy. Oh, okay, that's cool. Heck yeah, man. That's awesome. All right, have you cooled off now? You done burning my hand? Nope. Ah! Fool me once, dude. Oh, what a mistake that was.
I mean, why don't you try feeling the air around?
I did.
Before
Well, I knew. Well, no.
It?
The problem with clay is that, like, so I turned my little. I have like a desk fan that I just put in there to cool it down. And usually, cold air heats or cools clay really quick, right? The problem with clay is it's like mashed potatoes in the microwave. Kind of like if you cool out the surface, the inside is still like molten. So I was like, oh, this is good. And then I pinched to pick the piece up and my finger went right into the molten clay, even though the surface was like quote unquote firm. Oh man. Clay is thine enemy for sure today, guys. If this is the beginning of my project today, we know how the rest is gonna go for sure. Okay. What kind of game you up to here?
What in the heck?
All right, let's where
Y'all are just fucking around too much.
we're gonna just go bep, 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 beppity boppity boo, bro, and bep, and bep, and this roly-poly clay one doesn't have a flat spot on the bottom, so it's just gonna keep messing around. So we'll do this and this. Hardest part about sculpting stuff like this, in my opinion, is that you want like an organic vibe to it, right? You don't want it to look too quote unquote perfect. So getting it to be like different levels, so to speak, or have like the I guess it would be the asymmetry of like a natural, like earthy vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn it. How's your other job been going, camcorder? Still enjoying it?
Shot that dude's leg off.
What day are you on now, Triceratops?
Like 18 or something.
Oh, dude. So I played for probably a good, I don't know, hour after you jumped off yesterday. And I ended up coming up with what did I call it? Like it's like the stick pit or something. So I went all the way over, and I hadn't even uncovered this location. I just knew where it was. And I went over to the modern bow area, and I decided that is going to be where I set up the main camp.
Okay.
Share the trade secrets are banned. What up, Legged Out? How's it going? Where's my music, guys? Come on. What's going on here? Anyhow, I was getting attacked like crazy. I was like, I've had enough of this. So I literally started it and it was successful, but the final vision of it will be flawless, I'm pretty sure. And what it was 3 rows, with enough space to be able to quickly run between them of cross-facing spikes. So say like maybe like 10 or between 10 and 15 spikes going in different directions, but a straight line of them, and then parallel to it another straight line, and then parallel to it another straight line. So that when I got attacked by cannibals, I got attacked by demons, I got attacked by like the puffies and mutants and stuff, and I would just play Ring Around the Rosie, basically just running up and down the aisles and like getting on the other side of them so they'd have to run through them. And dude, it works so well. It works so well. So even if I get attacked, like overwhelmed, like I was getting at times like 8 to 10 puffies showing up. And I would just like run through them. Yeah, legged out. Glitch said it arrived. Thank you, kind sir. I didn't even get the job yet. Okay, you're competitive now. No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, it works really well. So I kind of did it in an area that I knew I wasn't going to be actually building. So that if I start to get attacked, I just like will, shoot an arrow at one of the losers and then run over to this area where they'll all follow me, and then just basically play like Marathon Man up and down the spikes, and they just get so messed up. It was really awesome, actually.
Nice.
So, just something to think about with your brain, if you get to that point. But you're not even on, what day are you on again?
18, I think. I'll have to look in a second. Repairing something I destroyed by accident.
Oh shit, I put the wrong side down. It was supposed to be that side up. I also didn't like how there was just too much uniformity. Going back to this. Wait, you're going back to the stock market? Wait, what do you mean you're going back to the stock market? Okay, there we go. This is a wee bit better. I'm still not the biggest fan. It sucks because I know that I sculpted that rock. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. What up?
Hey.
Not too bad.
First, long-time listener, first-time caller. I just wanted to a subject that you had just pointed out in stream. So you had said something about thinking about something with your brain, and I just want to say that that's ableist against us that don't have brains. So.
Oh dang!
Maybe,
He's got you there, dude.
Oh, that's true.
I think it'd be great if you just kind of checked your privilege a little bit and think about those of us that operate in life without a brain.
I guess you're back home.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. Okay. I will take that into consideration next time. Okay. When I talk about thinking with my brain.
Yeah.
Because
I know who does accept me.
People with no brains.
Jesus.
No, it is the social club that I frequent called Young Republicans of America.
Oh my God.
None of them have, and we all get along together. So.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow, indeed. I think my brain just left. It was like, you know what? No, we're leaving. We're gone. Peace.
That's actually how we recruit.
Oh yeah? You got to get rid of the brain first, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God. I thought you were getting ready for a big party, Broseph.
It's not a big party.
Okay. The small party.
But I mean, there's nothing really to get ready for.
Oh, okay.
The most I have to do is just shower.
You thought about, resting maybe,
I don't think there's going to be a lot of resting needed.
Oh, okay. All right, gotcha.
I mean, it's a party that will have...
It's a lobotomy party. Yeah, probably. This is true, yeah. 'Cause, when you heading out for that said shindig?
Possibly in 2 hours.
Possibly in 2 hours. Okay.
Yeah, none of us are really good at like keeping time, so it's like a tentative sort of like just show up whenever you can.
Okay. Well, that's because you guys don't have your brains.
Exactly.
All right.
See, you get it, dude. You already understand. I don't know why you're so against people having not having brains. You understand us already.
It still
I
doesn't
don't
feel
think you said
big
he
enough.
was opposed to it.
No, I'm actually pro people having brains.
Oh.
See, that's
Are you not? Wait.
Was-
Are you pro brain, dude, or are you anti brain?
Who, me?
No. Mr. Does Art.
I mean, as an individual who is in the community of not having a brain, I think I'm pretty anti-brain. Honestly, I would be misrepresenting myself if I wasn't.
The brain tells. That's true. The brain does tell you. It tries to convince you that that the brain is the most important organ.
I think
It's all brain
biggest
propaganda.
The biggest problem that we have in the group is that whenever we organize marches and rallies, we actually have to put the street that's adjacent to the street that we're going to march on because everyone goes to the wrong street. So we have to say, like if we're going to march on First Street, we have to say it's going to be on Second Street. And then everyone shows up on First, and then we're good.
How does is this wait, why does that even
I don't know.
in
I
this
tried
imaginary
something
thing, I'm having difficult time understanding why that would even be the case.
Look, man,
I
I'm making it
also
up as
too
we
am.
go. You're asking a lot,
Dude,
for a guy
I'm just
who has
saying.
no brain.
I'm just saying. I was going down the road with you. I was there. I was like,
Well, the thing is that I was on the wrong road. You thought you were following me, but I wasn't on the right road.
oh, okay, gotcha. I see. That's where it all went wrong. Oh my god. So Kyle, you gonna be doing art this weekend? Are you done? No art doing this weekend.
I'm actually retiring. This is something that I've thought about for a while. I think after I finish this most recent painting, I think I'm gonna quit.
How are you thinking?
Oh, got you there, dummy.
Damn, dude.
The plot
Did you
thickens.
Dude, you just blew my cover for having a brain. I was trying to infiltrate the no brain people. God damn it.
Gotta try harder, dude.
Yeah. No, I think you gotta not try.
Oh yeah, probably.
All right, let's switch this other cam here real quick.
The new fire pit looks like it's coming along pretty nicely.
Considering, I just started. Yeah. It's still not right. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Do you remember how many stones were actually around a fire in?
Not in the first one, I don't. I want to say it was either 5 or 7, like in this one.
Dude, those stones would be fucking huge. Hear me out. Or one of those fingers on the normal hand should be backwards.
Fuck. There's an actual wiki that has like a whole section
Maybe.
for fire. It's 6 stones in a fire pit, and they actually look like marbles.
Yeah, they do. But it's 6. Does it actually 6 stones around, or does it just take 6 stones?
Well, I'm looking at an image of a fire pit on the forest wiki.
Oh, okay.
And it has 6 stones and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 logs.
Wait a minute. There shouldn't be any logs on. Oh, that's
Well,
you're
like,
on the wrong. You're looking at the wrong fire. There's multiple fires in the original.
Okay.
There shouldn't be logs in a regular fire pit in the original.
It's not. It's more like a branch.
Oh, okay.
Like it's it's like wrist size almost. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I would love to do this, but how the hell do you do the skin detail lines? you practice. Oh man, that sounds so mean. That's not what I
Very
mean.
carefully.
Yeah, like if you go and check out any of my past streams or anything like that, you'll see my technique. It's actually pretty easy to replicate the technique. The hardest part is learning, and I'm not even perfect at this. I'm always learning new stuff. The hardest part is actually learning naturally how skin like wrinkles, what direction they would go in. Sarah, hey, how's it going over on Kick? Once you learn those, like the directions that it will, the wrinkles would take, the execution of them is really more just monotonous than anything else. Like it's just think Photoshop. It's literally layers of different types of striations. If you check out my YouTube channel, which I'll pimp out, creatively_cursed, you will find the streams where I am using the same technique on a variety of different projects. It's just how deep you make the striations or how hard the clay is. Sometimes I'll use canned air to freeze the clay and sculpt that way. So just there's different techniques. Everyone's got their own thing. Some people are way more into sculpting pores, like doing dimples, which is a cool technique too. But the best version is generally probably a combination of the two. When I decided to make the Armsy, or my, I guess, rendition of it, I thought that this creature, even though the game has them being very smooth and kind of floppy, like really, I thought it would be cool to make him more like an elephant. There's this aspect in the original Forest, if you ever played it, where the Armsy, when it shows up, you can hear him stomping around. And they have this almost, Triceratops, you'd agree, almost like a weird kind of like elephant-esque orca whale noise.
Something like some sort of
like large
mammally.
Yeah,
sound.
exactly. So I was like, okay, this creature is in the forest or in the caves all the time. Its skin is going to be very robust. Like I kind of imagined merging skin with like bark, so really deep textures, and that would be almost like calloused like. I honestly thought it was an elephant at first while scrolling. Yeah, that was kind of my thought process behind it. So elephants, if you ever look at their skin, have super deep pores. That was kind of my my goal. Not pores, wrinkles. Although I'm sure they have pores too. I mean, unless they're wealthy, like, you know. Sorry. God, I'm so bad.
Yeah, some elephant came across Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop website and just shrank all of its pores.
I don't even know what that is.
That's probably fine.
Wait, do you know what it
Yeah.
is, Triceratops?
You're better off.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Did you glue the Armsy to that board?
No, I literally just rested him there a moment ago.
Oh, okay.
I'm being very
For a second,
risky.
like you were moving it, and it looked like it was glued.
No, he's
the way that it was moving.
Yeah, he's just so
He's-
damn heavy that he just
Weighs
stays.
like
Yeah,
80 fucking pounds.
I do have to weigh him one of these times for sure. I need to know. I am hitting a brick road, by the way, a brick wall. With how to do the hanging, like tree hanging version of my Krampus, dude. Like I really. Here's the problem. I shouldn't have painted all those Krampuses. That's what the truth is. I should have figured all this out before I casted them and painted them.
Well, if you ever need any more testers, you can just task the mold maker at the company you work for with casting the Krampuses. So
Well, I wouldn't need.
You know.
I don't need to. That's not what I need. I need to figure out how I'm going to turn the ones I have currently. Because if I wanted to cast more of them, I could easily create just a back to it that hollows it out, so it would be much lighter. You know. But
Oh yeah. Well, no, you can Dremel all that out.
yeah, I could. You're right. You know how long that would take for each one, to, like, especially if I don't want it to look like garbage, you know?
Nah.
So, and also this time, guys, we are not sculpting the individual logs and stuff. I actually took some wood. It's really interesting. I took some wood. I think it was what were those? 2x3s? No, 1x3s or something like that.
Yeah, there were 1x2s.
1x2s. And then chiseled them into tiny little like wood chunks. And then I used a torch really heavily on one side to create bark texture right here. And then on the other sides, I just lightly torched them to accentuate some of the texture. But on the sides that I heavily torched them, it gave me some like really cool bark texture. And then I used that fancy dancy UV resin over each of them so that the ash, I don't know what you'd call it, the stuff didn't keep coming off. So I just coated them. That's why they're shiny. You got too excited with those pigments, eh? Yes, I did get too excited with the pigments. Yes, that is very true. That is actually exactly what happened. I was like, I'm going to paint all these Krampuses. I really shouldn't have.
So why don't you use those logs that you made in the final production of the piece?
Well, because the fire is going to be covering almost the majority of the logs, right? Like,
okay.
Like it's not going to be, it's not like, sadly, like I would say, I don't know, maybe about here up isn't going to be seen, because the flames are going to be covering it, right? So, all right, there we go. Now we're just going to circle this around, make sure I don't think I have it evenly placed inside the fire pit. I absolutely don't. So we're just gonna squish it on over. You need a creative leash holder. Oh my God, I do need a creative leash holder. Yeah. I don't know. That's too much power to give someone though. You know, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that kind of power.
Dude, the first thing you would tie that leash to is my ankle and a table.
I think Glitch is referring to someone leashing me in my creativity.
Oh, gotcha.
Because I bum
creative in the aspect of as in you and I are creatives.
Yes. In that aspect, yeah. The problem is I'd never listen to them and burn the leash. Well, no, that's not true, because here's the thing. I mean, it is true, but it's not true in the fact that I would never give someone the power unless I was willing to listen to them. I think I have enough restraint that if I actually gave someone that, I think I would listen to them. But the thing is, I just never would, right? So, don't have to worry about that.
Dude, a picture of Cursed, I'm just picturing Cursed with one of those leather collar, stainless steel chain link leashes.
Oh, like a naughty dog kind of thing? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Why did I say naughty dog?
Picture Channing Tatum and This Is the End.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's
dude, what I assumed you were going for.
I'm not gonna lie. I think those dog masks that you can get are awesome. What was it? We were looking through one of those industry magazines recently, and man, some of them are really cool. I'm waiting for Mortal Kombat to launch a character that wears one of those.
Well, what's the fucking Sam or Triceratops should know this. The subreddit that's IATBG or
ATBG awful taste.
what does it mean?
Awful taste, but good or great execution. One of the
Yeah,
two.
that's what I think of when I see the furry dog masks. Is like, dude, the leather craftsmanship is out of this fucking world.
Yeah.
But it's for furries, so it's like,
It's for leatheries, thank
Yeah,
you.
but what else are you gonna? I mean, what else
That's
are you gonna
not
be
furry.
using it? Curse is already a gimp. What?
Dude, I think it should be used to be a dog-based superhero like Batman.
That's what I'm saying.
Dogman.
Well, okay,
No.
I did say Mortal Kombat.
furries have ruined it. No, it would be so ruined. There's no way they could come out with a
Only if you
superhero
let
that is
them
some
ruin
sort-
it, man. Like we can take
You know,
take it back.
I don't actually have anything against furries. I've read some pretty good things about that community. Aside from their proclivities, of course, which I have questions about. But
I don't really give a shit about them either way, honestly. Like literally don't care.
I've heard that they're kind of like the fucking juggalos, though. Like people think they're weird, but they're also really nice to everybody. So I mean, I guess.
Yeah, really, the
One
only
could
thing
also
you could
argue
really
with that.
judge them on is not being as weird as they purport to be, you know?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Let's test the scale here. Put the Armsy back up on this thing. I mean, it's better than it was for sure. So this is the original fire
and you
pit.
did it in like 30 minutes.
Well, it's not done yet, dude.
Well, no, I'm just saying. You're
So
like, yeah, it's better
ideally,
than it was.
the flames will come up and they'll be. So the original flames, where the hell are they? Okay, there they are. The original flames on this, from a flat surface. How did I have this on here? It was like, damn it. I mean, it's right there, right? But this, I want to make the flames like up to here. I want them to be very large, right? So I think that's another thing I might do with this version is I think I'm going to sculpt the flames on it. I'm not going to sculpt the flames separately. I am doing something else right now, but you guys can witness how tedious it is. Look at this. So I'm testing this theory on the old flame mold.
Oh,
Of
shit.
literally, I put, yeah, are you looking at it right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
Okay,
Yes.
so what I did was I clear coated a very, very thin layer of UV resin inside this. And then what I'm doing is, I don't know what you're watching on there, Kyle, but literally I went in one by one, painted the ends of these to look more yellow and fire-like, but you'll see by the wires that some of them are red LEDs and some of them are yellow LEDs.
Yeah.
And I'm strategically embedding each of the LEDs in the flames. So like at the points of some of these flames, I shove a 3mm LED in there, cure it. And then at the base, I'm pointing, because interesting thing about LEDs, which I kind of learned, is they actually only really give off their brightness directionally. Meaning like, if you look at an LED from the side, it's not nearly as bright as if you look at it straight down. Yeah, I didn't know
like
that.
a laser.
Yeah, I had no idea. I guess when my general idea of LEDs was that they just are bright, but they almost give off literally almost no light on the side. It's very minimal. So one of the issues I was running into when doing the LEDs inside of this was that since I was just shoving them up inside of it, they technically were all just pointing up. They weren't pointing out to the sides, right? So what I did on these was I specifically started angling them, angling the LEDs in like a specific direction so that I could do it. The problem is I actually think one side of these is going to be all the LEDs I pre-wired. I'd have to pre-wire more LEDs for the other side. Look how big the wiring out of this one side, and it's not even done, is already. So imagine this fire pit, if I did it this way, would have probably, I'm not even kidding, like 60 or 70 LEDs inside of it. And it's going to be a wire, like, so figure there's going to be at least double this to finish this off, right? That is probably, oh, I don't know, it's more than a quarter. It's not, no, almost a ½ inch of wires right there. So this will be an inch of wires. The other side will be an inch of wires, like all the way around. So we'll have like a whole, 2 inches of random ass wires that then all have to be soldered together just to light this up. But on this one, if I sculpt the flames much bigger, I can have them like floating inside of it. They're not going to be all bunched together like a Christmas tree of lights. They'll be it'll be able to be like floated, and I can create basically kind of like an inner, think like an inner armature inside of it that the LEDs can be rested on and pointing out in different directions. But I need a much larger, I need
Nice.
much larger flames. So
We need more cowbell.
we absolutely do not need more cowbell. That does not have to happen. It is going to go faster, like you said, yeah, but
So-
we're not nearly done yet either. So
Is there gonna be any sort? So are you gonna do like the final? So you did the UV resin cast with the LEDs. Is there gonna be any issues with using a different resin to cast the rest of it out of?
So I did run a test with that other resin out in the studio, that clear resin. That stuff is ideal to use. It's just trickier to work with because I can't
Okay.
cure it immediately. So creating a shell is going to be a little bit trickier. So I might literally have to create a core, like do the whole like negative mold and do like
Right.
a squish mold that creates a shell. And here's why. That stuff is awesome because it's designed to take a large amount of heat. Okay. This stuff,
Wait, which resin are you talking about? Oh, the UV resin? or-
no. The resin I used out there that I handed you the cup that you thought was a cup, but it wasn't a cup.
Oh, right.
That resin is oh wow, I totally had this one upside down. This is a damn it. Okay, anyways, that resin is designed for is designed for heat applications where the plastic is going to receive quite a bit of heat.
Oh,
And
okay.
when I had this going for an entire stream one day underneath it, all the LEDs created so much heat that I could literally bend the flames and stuff because it had
Right.
UV resin is not particularly very heat resistant at all, which is kind of funny when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah. So, all right. So now what we have to do is basically fill in all the undercuts with clay inside this, which is going to be fun. Everything is just kind of resting here right now, but we need to actually get it inside the crevices. So we're going to use a silicon tool for that.
Silicon.
Yeah. Bow, 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 bow. I wish I had a larger silicon tool. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, I technically do have a larger hunk of silicone I can use. Oh, this is another technique you can use for texturing, which are just texture pads. I'm not a big fan of them personally, but they are a nice final touch. But technically I could probably use one of these to kind of like spatulate.
Oh.
Maybe. They're not very thick though. They're very thin. But very, here I can zoom in so you guys can see these have some very nice texture on them. But skin pores, striations. Are you gonna light it up? Yeah, well, not this version. I lit up the other version with all these LEDs. We have to get this sculpted and molded first. Then we're gonna light it up for sure. I'm trying to think how I want to do this. I could. Here's what I could do is I could put this here, just randomly torch it, and then scoop and apply. That's what I'll do. Scoop and apply, rinse and repeat. Hey, Kyle, did the gallery receive all your stuff?
Presumably, yes. I will be very upset if they did not. I tracked the whole thing, but the my sort of point of contact hasn't gotten back to me. So I would assume that if they haven't sent me a message that was like, "Hey, You were supposed to be part of the show. Why haven't you dropped your shit off? That means that they received it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, pretty pumped, man. I'm gonna fly out there at the end of this month. And I'll
Oh,
be
you
able to see
are?
it in person. Yeah. So I think it's like the 23rd to the 26th. The 23rd is like a Friday, the 26th is like a Monday.
Right.
I'm gonna fly out to Kansas City, and just hang out with like two of my like best friends from back home. Which is it's funny because this trip was planned before I got the show, right? So this the trip, if I had like my if I had my EIN already set up,
What's it?
and
Wait,
and
EIN?
like a tax code for
Oh,
like an
okay, yeah.
LLC.
Yeah, you could
If I had that
technically.
already set up, I technically could write off my entire like I guess quote unquote vacation as a tax write off because I'm in the city that the gallery is showing my pieces, and I can just
When do they officially go on? Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. When did they go on display officially?
yesterday.
Oh, no shit. Okay. Does the gallery have like a does the gallery have a like a social media account that like displays the artwork, like say, hey, come down to the gallery and check out blah 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 blah?
I actually don't know. I don't think they do. I mean, they do most likely, but it's probably not like a poppin' like
Yeah.
social media. But yeah, like I'm looking at it right now, and yeah. So Wednesday, May 31st, was when they like opened the show, and let's check out their online gallery. It's called the Jones Gallery for anyone that's interested. So it's the Jones Gallery in Kansas City, Missouri.
And you'd been there, I think you told me, right? Or no?
No, I've never been to this gallery. I've been in the area of the gallery.
Oh, so
like
that, yeah,
so
yeah,
they
yeah.
sort of have like an
where
arts
it is.
district. Yeah.
Thank you for all the likes, guys. I appreciate it. Grumble.
Yeah, I'm checking to see if there's anywhere to put this half.
Hey, did you end up going on to YouTube and checking it out, like how to do the thing?
I haven't yet, no.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was part of the technique I was using last night. Was I was able to build like enough of a window in a defense wall that literally the spikes, at least 3 spikes, could fit through the window, so they wouldn't be able to just jump over the spikes. The one creature that can easily jump over spikes is the fingerman. He can just like literally walk over them or run over them in the case where he does his like charge thing.
Yeah.
And I ain't down with that, yo.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan.
So I know you went with Triceratops to check out the place. What were your thoughts on the place there, Kyle?
It was really fucking dope, man. It's actually a really good deal. Neighborhood's great.
Is there anything
House is great.
close to it, like of note? Like, are you going to be close to like a superstore or like?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, it's close to a Carl's Jr., Jack in the Box, 7-Eleven, and McDonald's.
Seriously?
No, I don't know. Yes, but like
Well,
that's
yeah,
not
but-
important stuff. Yeah, I mean it's sort of on the outskirts of town. You know, I'm sure Sam probably knows a little bit more about the area than I do.
Nope.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Are your neighbors right on top of you?
No, it's a little more spread out, and there's like actually a kind of same situation here where there's not fences, they're cinder block walls, but like walls between everybody's property.
Yeah, it seems to be a common thread in
There was
Vegas.
a dude fixing a bike, smoking a little disposable vape across the street, but
Gotcha.
that's all we really saw for people.
And you said the lady, like the release person, wasn't there. You got to do it, like look at
Yeah,
it by
yeah.
yourself. That's cool.
Yeah, I was technically the first person to ever use Triceratops' bathroom.
That.
Yeah.
Did you already sign the lease and everything, or no?
No, I just went there to look at it.
Nice.
But if he does,
Then he will be the first person to have used the bathroom.
there it is.
Bum, 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 bum. So, do you think you'll ever, will you always use leasing agents now?
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. The doing it by myself, A, I don't know what the hell I'm doing in the first place, really. You know, and B, I spent like 2 weeks, I think, looking for anywhere that was going to be cool with a dog, and every place I actually did get in touch with said no.
Yeah.
And I called up this place and was like, I have a dog. And the realtor was like, we all love dogs here. We, in fact, have a dog that's basically our mascot in the office. And I was like, dope.
In fact, we are dogs.
Have you ever seen our leather puppy masks?
Full circle. Full circle. There we go.
I mean, they could be dogs. I actually haven't met the leasing agent. Maybe the leasing agent's like a terrier
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, her name is Terry. So I mean, if she got any more Terry, she would be Terrier.
Oh my god.
No, I'm just kidding. I know her real name isn't Terry, but yeah.
Yeah, yep, that was the issue with that whole thing.
Yeah, I knew you would have an issue with the joke that I made as soon as I made it. So I just made sure to clarify at the end, tie up all the loose ends.
Shut up.
Well, technically, Triceratops was the first person to step inside our place.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
nice. Oh yeah, dude. Live by the sword, die by the sword.
He went even cheaper than a leasing agent. He just asked me to drive over there after work one day.
That's true.
Yeah, you were the agent.
Yep.
Even that situation, no one met you, right?
Yeah, no. I just
Yeah.
walked over there and put my camera on my phone.
Dude, it'd be so funny if Triceratops just squatted in your place. It's like, yeah, this is mine.
I was here first.
Look at me. I am the captain now.
Have you ever actually seen that movie?
No. I don't know if anyone has. I think only people look at the meme.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
It's a movie where Tom Hanks is a ship captain. And gets
Yeah, isn't it called?
Right.
Is that the one called Captain Phillips? Right? No.
No, that's
Isn't it? It's the movie about the guy that
Maybe
actually
it is.
got
Maybe it is
kidnapped
called
by
Captain.
Somali pirates, right?
I
Like
think so.
there's a documentarian that like legitimately got fucking kidnapped by Somali pirates and lived on like a pirate island for like 2 years or something like that as their slave. But because he was so smart, they were like, "Oh, you're like a useful resource, so we'll give you a little bit more privilege around the compound, but you know, you're still our slave."
Wow. I didn't know that was the case.
Yeah, dude, it's
Kyle
it's
knows an awful lot about
crazy
doing
story.
Somali pirating.
I know, right? Dude, what up with that? Cow.
He's a pirate, dude.
Dude, what? Okay, listen. Growing up, everyone always tells you go to college or have a plan B. Well, my plan B was be an artist, and I am failing at that. So my plan C is to be a pirate. So I got to figure that out.
Uh,
Well,
you know what? I'm just happy you have a plan,
So it
Kyle.
was like an internship?
Just like an internship. Yeah, you have to intern, get credits for 3 years through,
Yeah.
the Somali pirate organization.
Who the fuck was the guy?
I mean, that's
No,
not bad. It's only 3 years.
no, it wasn't them.
Yeah, but you have to pirate for free the whole time.
You don't
Yeah.
get any booty.
It'd
Yeah,
be so
exactly.
funny, like there's one room on a Somali like oil tanker pirate ship that is made to look like an office cubicle, and so like whenever they kidnap like people from the West, that's their internship. They're like, you need to make coffees, get copies, like run the documents and all this shit, and then after you intern for a while in like a white collar job, then you can be a
Then
pirate.
you get the eye patch.
Yeah.
Then and only then do you unlock the eye patch.
Dude, I would love if Somali pirates legitimately wear eye patches just because they're like, hey man, we might be fucked up, but we're traditional, like. Oh, dude, Somali pirates with like old school like Columbus days boats. Like they still build their own boats.
You mean a galleon?
Sure.
You said, like that era.
Yeah.
Assuming it
Really?
makes
What the shit is going on here? Come on.
Yeah. Okay, so it was about the Captain Phillips.
That's what I said.
Well, no, I thought you were asking if it was.
I was, but I thought you said it wasn't.
Yeah. Well,
Captain Phillips, he was like a real, like it is based on a real story, but it's based on that captain, not
Who's the fucking guy? Maybe I'm thinking of someone else different.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah, I'm thinking of legitimate Tom Hanks. Yeah, I think he was actually kidnapped by Somali pirates.
Hey, he is a method actor. Okay, actually, I don't think he is. But,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, this is.
Yeah, I seen what was it on Reddit? I think it was that the actor who played Jesse in
Breaking Bad.
actually smoked meth because he's a meth head actor.
Oh my god.
God damn it.
Oh, did you hear what's his face? I think just got sentenced. Finally.
Oh, fucking Hyde.
Yeah.
From that 70s show.
Yeah.
Dude, he's facing 30 years.
Is that it? I didn't actually read the article. I just saw
Yeah.
pictures
he
of
got
him.
Charged on 2 counts of
Naughtiness,
and yeah. They're like he's looking at 30 years in prison. He's not gonna fare well.
I always wonder, like, and maybe someone actually knows this. Celebrities, do they just join Gen Pop? Like,
No, so if you're like a legitimate celebrity, there's like especially if you go to like a federal pen, there's like a special pod that you're put in. It's not like it's not like the Hollywood pod or whatever. It's more or less like
people of
interest.
yeah.
It's like people of interest. You're not in Gen Pop. You are
Even him,
you are
who's
excluded.
basically been irrelevant for.
He's probably
years.
gonna be like put in like a special pod.
I wonder what measuring device, if any at all, they use to determine whether or not someone needs to be in a special
There's
pod.
a scale.
Yeah. Dude, and that's the worst part. Let's say you are like him, and it's like, man, you're like 2 points too low. You're not popular enough.
Michael Moore, that was the guy, right?
Wait, the
The
documentary guy?
for
Combine? Yeah, Fahrenheit 9/11 and a few other. That guy? What about him? You think he got
He's
kidnapped
a
by a Somali pirate?
Yeah, Michael Scott Moore. No, not the documentarian guy. I that's why I thought he was the documentary guy. Is that this guy's name is Michael Scott Moore? His name is
Oh.
Michael Moore, but he's not that Michael Moore. He's a different guy that got kidnapped by Somali pirates, and he spent 2.5 years in captivity.
And
He was a journalist.
and then he
Gotcha.
and then
he's a
and then
German American journalist.
and then he got to be a pirate. Like
No.
oh okay
No.
no okay
They actually had to do. I think if I remember correctly, they executed like a rescue mission, to get him out of there.
When was this?
2012, I think. Which, by the way, I've never understood the idea of, I'm sure there are like very like fringe instances where a rescue mission is like needed, right? Like if it's like really fucking dangerous. But when it like every rescue mission kind of thing that I've heard of, it's like a real stealth kind of thing, like where they like sneak in and sneak the guy out. And I've always thought, like, I've always had the idea of like, if you're gonna spend the resources of transportation and the manpower and all the stuff to do these to like execute these rescue missions, why don't you just fucking like destroy the place? Like if this is like a place of bad, like if this is a place of evil,
Yeah,
just
place of
destroy
bad.
the whole place and take the guy out. Like
because destroying the whole place would likely result in like the person you're trying to rescue not getting rescued.
No. I mean, execute the rescue mission, right? Like, do the rescue mission, get the guy out of there, but then level the place.
Yeah, probably.
Like, why
Dude,
would
yeah,
you leave it
probably,
there for
dude,
more
probably
bad?
because, much like everything else inside places like that, they're not all evil. Even if 99 out of 100 people are evil, there would still be like an innocence
I'm
lost.
not, yeah, but like, I'm not talking about like just destroying a country because like
No,
5
even a
people
building.
kidnapped the guy.
Dude, even
I mean, like a compound. Like let's say there was like a compound. Why wouldn't you just destroy that compound after you rescued the guy? Why keep it why keep it up?
Well,
You know, like why keep it like being able to do business?
well, because it's probably making the country that it's in a lot of money by, dirty money.
Maybe. I mean, yeah. It just always like kind of like weird. Like I was just like, it seems kind of weird that it's like if there's a place that you legitimately
I don't know that there's
suspect-
ever been a place that fits that exact criteria where there would not be, say there's a compound like in the middle of some forest somewhere, okay? It doesn't mean that every person in that compound is like vis-a-vis like the worst person ever. Do you know what I mean? You're basically
I
talking.
guess that would depend on where you stand on so you know that like that metaphor, or I guess it's not really, I don't know what you would call it. Triceratops should probably know what you would call this sort of idea, but like if you're sitting at a table and 10 Nazis sit down and you don't leave, there's 11 Nazis at that table, right?
You know what's weird? I literally just read something yesterday that made that.
And
reference.
so, like, if you're in that compound, even though you might think you're a good person and, you might actually have virtues of a good person, you're supporting a bad thing. So, like,
maybe, but like, I mean, that's a good, I've never heard that. What is that called? Triceratops. It's just a analogy, right?
like an allegory.
An allegory?
analogy.
I don't know that it would be an allegory. It's like a hypothetical philosophical claim. I'm not really sure what you would call that one.
It's like a thought experiment kind of, but
Yeah. But that's just kind of my way of thinking about, like, why don't you just fucking wipe that thing
well,
off
I
the
don't
face
know.
of the
I guess
earth?
in my opinion, I just don't agree that you would have 11 Nazis in that situation. But
See, and
me,
that's why I
but-
said like it depends on where you stand on the idea, because I also don't believe, like, I do, but I don't. I don't know. It's definitely a fence walking.
It depends on how much.
subject
Here,
for
let me
me.
put it this way: it depends on how much thought in any given situation where you'd actually have to think about that idea, like it is actually required. Like for the thought
Right.
experiment,
Well, so the part of it's missing now that I think about it too, because I don't think it's just if you sit at a table where there's 10 Nazis, now you're a Nazi.
right?
I think the whole thing is if you sit at a table with 10 Nazis and you don't say anything in opposition to their rhetoric, then there's 11 Nazis.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's kind of. I mean, that's the like long version of it. But, like,
That's the one with
Well,
more
right, but
nuance.
the part that makes it exactly what it is was the missing part, so it kind of needed to be said.
Yeah.
Mm,
I don't know. Even that, I think. I don't know. I don't know. I'm saying I don't even know if that really changes my opinion on it, even if someone was quiet.
right.
Like,
But like just the way that we as a I don't know what you would fucking call America, like a world police.
yeah, we're kind of a world police. Yeah.
It's like if they really thought that there was evil things happening in these areas that they have to rescue someone from.
God, it makes me so
why do they,
uncomfortable
like,
when
why
you
do
say
they allow
evil.
them to continue them?
I don't.
What?
I said it makes me so uncomfortable. I don't know what it is about the term evil being used in a serious situation that makes me wildly uncomfortable.
It should. Evil is real.
Oh
Like,
no.
Evil is
Oh no.
real. And it's-
Great, now he said evil is real. Kyle, you can stop now.
right. I forgot. We're supposed
Okay.
to be like super soft.
You just
and-
wait real
and
quick.
everything's
You just
fine.
mean you just
my
hey
God,
hey.
dude.
You just
Everyone
what
loves
kind of weird
everyone.
reaction are you?
You just
having,
mean-
dude?
you just-
Did just
I-
have an allergic reaction.
You know what's
What
funny?
the fuck are you talking about?
I am totally just being on the fact of like being on just the word evil here, but like short of a horror movie, I don't think I would ever use the word evil to describe any individual. I would use
I would.
terrible. No, I
100%.
would use terrible words up and down. Like, but I think
Nope.
evil to me is cheesy.
But it's succinct. It's straight to the point.
Yeah, but evil
Evil
apply
is
no.
evil. So is
evil,
terrible.
No.
There's
Evil
other words.
evil apply in my opinion directly is like a reference to maybe a moral, not even moral, I'm sorry, religious, I'm gonna say it. Evil, the term, gives me like religious vibes, meaning like,
Yeah.
you know,
Interesting.
so like if you say someone is evil, it's referencing your, in my eyes, I know this isn't the case for you, but almost like your religious ideas versus any moral or ethical. You say this person's terrible, they're you know, ideally you would just call them out for all the things that you don't like that they do. Thank you, Todd, for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. But other than that, evil just, I don't know that I've ever used the word evil to describe an entity, a person, or anything like that outside of like a fictional thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So what would
Somali
so
pirates be
would you
considered?
say that they're no. Well, what would you say is like a well? Let me question it this way: do you personally think that there is a threshold that you would call someone evil?
Yeah, I already said I would use it in like.
Oh, sorry.
No. I said I would use it in like fictional terms.
Okay.
Like
okay,
a character
Yeah.
in a story can be evil. And not for nothing. Anyone, yeah, you can use evil. Everyone does, dude. Everyone does use it that way. But I don't like using
No,
it that
I
way.
mean,
It
I'm
seems.
not fighting you on this. I'm actually I'm intrigued by your sort of like you think evil isn't a strong word. Am
Yeah,
I incorrect in
kind
saying
of,
that? Or?
Well, I think it is a strong word. I just don't think it's as strong as most people think it is. I think it's more cheesy than it is strong.
Would you say that it's been overused, so it's been like diluted? The word has been diluted.
No, I think that its original use hurts its ability to be currently used by non-religious individuals.
Okay. So what would you you would just go into sort of like a list of synonyms?
Maybe I might say
or
literally like
even, like,
if I'm really talking about someone that I don't like, or a group of people, I'd be like, they don't deserve to be breathing the same air as me.
well, but the thing is that can be taken multiple ways, right?
I mean, I
Really,
guess.
think of one way.
Yeah, yeah, like I
No,
guess.
like think of someone who is like someone who's like just disgustingly racist. They could say, I don't believe that that person should be breathing the same air as me.
Right. And that in their disgustingly racist point of view, that is basically them saying that, like, I mean, I guess you could, well, no, evil.
Yeah, I mean,
Evil would mean
I guess
something.
That's a good question.
I guess, I don't think. Evil implies this, like, okay, let me work on this before you hear. Okay, to me, I'm actually working on it myself. Evil implies this, like, I'm just go with me for a second. To me, implies
I'm feeling
just implies like a force, like an invisible entity, force, energy that is, for lack of better, or
like in the sense like when people say the powers of good and evil, sort of.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And the idea that evil is an external thing that can just overtake something. You know what I mean? And so this, if evil is this energy, that means that people who are, to me at least, in my opinion, that means people who are quote unquote evil, if you were to say that, are not in control of it. Not directly.
So that's where, like, I feel that differently. Like when I think evil, I think of people that are like, you know, and I could go down the list of like synonyms, like abhorrent, or fucking just despicable human beings, right? You know, you're a disgusting racist person, or someone who fucking just like tortures people for joy or whatever. You know, that to me, that I can just deduce that down to that's
is evil. Yeah, but aren't you you're appealing to something greater than the person.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, like now that like that you mentioned the idea of there being like an external force, I feel like I do feel that the term evil has been diluted, because like all the examples that you gave were from fiction. Religion.
That's because that's where like evil.
Hollywood.
Right. But remember, that's because that's where evil did come from. The concept of evil came from, like,
I wouldn't say that.
Not the concept. Not the concept. Not the concept. The word. I'm pretty sure is literally.
Based in fiction,
could be well, I mean, the Bible, pretty much. I could be wrong. Triceratops might actually know more about this than I do, but I'm pretty sure if you looked up like the etymology of evil, you would find that it probably comes literally from like religious texts.
Well, and it could, but like, I mean, if you're from the I guess from the group of people that like, so when I was growing up, very religious family, pretty indoctrinated, but as I like metamorphosed out of, you know, religion, there was still a part of me that was very intrigued by religion. I still wanted to learn about religion, but from a secular point of view.
Yeah.
And so when I like learned about everything that, you know, from the nation of America's, you know, religion is purely Christianity. Well, not purely, but you know what I'm saying. Majorly Christianity. Learning about Christianity, a lot of the Old Text or the Old Testament are like rules to life, where it was based in religion, but it was more or less like rules of just like being.
Right.
Like you didn't have to like, you know, believe in these invisible powers to just like make sure that
to quote unquote live a good life.
Right. And so a lot of those rules, where I would assume that like what you're talking about, the evil from the religion, like the powers of good and evil, like kind of thing. That was the best way for them to have a one word reference to someone who is despicable, abhorrent.
Yeah, probably.
Like a terrible person.
Well, no. Actually, I take that back. No. The Triceratops, are you back?
Yeah, sorry. I thought I heard someone ring my doorbell. And to give you guys a little insight into the etymology of the
Thank
word,
you.
it actually comes from Proto-Indo-European through the Northern and Western Germanic languages. So it doesn't actually have anything to do with at least the religious set we're talking about. But it was originally kind of what Kyle was saying in a sense. It was just like the word, or the earlier versions of it that our English version comes from, was essentially the word that was used to mean like most disliked, most disapproved of, most whatever. So it didn't have the, at least when in its origins, did not have the connotation that you get in your mind when you hear someone use that term. But I wasn't able to, in that short span of time, find out how
It
that
morphed.
is the word that got chosen to be used for like the opposite of
Well-
good when it does come to like theological concepts.
Okay,
and stuff like that.
but I mean, we know that we know like Christmas and other religious holidays were also taken from, say, like Northern European
Right. Yeah.
groups
Well,
and
yeah.
stuff like that too. So like a lot of that shit was stolen, to be like quote unquote stolen and repurposed
Right. Right.
Well,
yeah.
I
to
mean,
begin with,
yeah.
right?
Well, the
so
correct term is appropriated. Thank you very much.
that's okay. What did I say? I like
Stolen.
and repurposed. I like that.
Stolen and repurposed.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I thrifted your culture, dude.
But that is pretty awesome. But no, I get where you're coming from. It's a great I don't know, man. I get why people use the word, and if you use the word evil to describe someone, I would probably never say like, oh, I don't understand what you're saying, right? Like I will immediately know what
right.
you're talking about. But maybe it's because here's another thing I think. I'm not backing up on my original thing. I still think that that's one of the biggest reason I don't like it, but is that I don't know that a human could ever be evil. To meet a true definition for me, where I'm like, yeah, I would use that definition. I don't know that a human being, even a group of human beings, or a company, I don't know that they could be evil. Evil to me is something
Is that
very
foreshadowing for a very interesting meeting we'll be having?
no.
So what?
I don't
what-
think
what
anybody
is-
could be
what-
evil. Like not a group of people, not a government,
Yeah,
not a very small company of less than 20 people. Definitely not that.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is,
It's the
it's
last
like
thing that would be evil.
you would need to me, evil needs to be something of not of lore, but of something like
External
Supernatural.
powers.
something
Almost like-
supernatural. Something
like,
supernatural could be evil.
fucking-
Yeah.
What's it called when like a demon like takes over your body?
Possession.
Possess.
Possession. Yeah. Possession. Yeah. So almost like a possession. Is that what you're saying?
No. Well, I mean, I guess if that was real, yes, that would fit the thing. Yeah. But again,
So
Oh, fucking.
what? So
Cat
what
dog.
would let's live. Okay. Cursed. Follow me down this path.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
We live in a world not of ours,
In a world.
Yes, in a world.
where evil does exist.
Right.
The evil that you actually believe in
Yeah.
does exist.
Yeah.
What would a human have to do
Whoa.
in this world for you
Live
to
through
say
that.
that is evil?
I think possession's probably right up there. Like I don't know that human has. Okay, bear in mind you're literally describing a fantasy world right now. Okay.
I am.
All right.
yes.
Okay. Like this world does not exist.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah. But a person is still a person in this world. You're not giving them any other attributes outside of like your world is only saying that weird evil
So
shit
you
exists,
fully
but
believe
people,
that people cannot be evil.
to my definition of evil, no, it's too mythical. It's too supernatural. I mean, if
What if I said wicked?
yeah. Yeah.
Sounds like a witch.
Yeah, I would probably buy into wicked before evil. I think evil to me feels like it needs to be designated to almost basically supernatural things.
Okay.
Because again, it goes back to that idea of it being like an energy or a force or something that is, say, a demon could be born of
Yeah.
evil, meaning it's evil
You put on
incarnate.
you put on like a ring that like possesses you, or
Right,
like
right.
you yeah, you have like
You know
like
what's
a
funny
musical
though?
box
You know
that
what's
is
funny now that
haunted.
I think about it as I'm expanding my ideas here? I think acts can be evil.
Okay, so you will agree to the term of acts of evil.
Yes, because the act, when you're referencing the act, you're like, it's like you just said an act of evil. You're referencing the power that is this thing.
Oh.
You're that
So
like
I literally felt like I was like, so dude, this is great because what when you said this, when you said that, I literally felt like I was like almost like when you're leveling something, you know, when you're using a spirit level and you finally get the bubble in the middle.
yeah.
I feel like I just hit that with you
Yeah.
because now I know where you're at. I completely understand where you're at. When you say acts of evil, that is the same way that I use the term evil.
Right, but you say that people are. I would not say that.
No.
You
Well,
didn't we start this conversation
yes,
with you saying that
yeah,
someone
yeah.
was evil? Yeah.
So, but what? No, I never said people are evil. But what I was talking about
Hey,
were
funny guy, what's
acts
going
of
on?
evil. Like, okay,
Yeah.
let's do like a
I don't
like a
mean to.
real fast reverse on the VHS tape.
So sweet.
We go back to the beginning of the conversation,
Wait,
right?
what's
we
my
have this
stream?
compound. We're doing a rescue
Forged in
mission,
fire.
right?
Oh, nice. Yeah, rescue
So
mission.
every moment that I talk about the word evil, replace it with terms of acts of evil, right? So when I say, okay, there's this compound, there instead of me saying there's evil in this compound, I
Yeah.
would say there are people committing acts of evil.
Right. But
in this
here's yes,
compound.
but I already know. I know what you're saying. I know what you want, what you're trying to get my opinion on. What do you think I'm gonna say? I'm
Oh, I
curious.
have no clue. I have I have
Triceratops,
no
what do you
clue.
think I'm gonna say? If I don't believe that people are evil inherently, that they can perpetrate acts of evil, but they are not evil. Like I'm still
Wait, hang on. I actually, I will say something just because, you know, fuck it, why not? I'm shooting from the hip. I think that you're going to say something along the lines of, people are almost puppeting themselves to act in a way that they think is evil, and committing acts of evil, in that like in that like gesture
okay.
of
So here's the reason. Here's the thing. Okay, I I would still say in the case of the compound, even if the compound is literally known for whether it's one person, a group of people, or whatever the case may be, of acts of evil being committed within the compound, it's still not enough to damn every person in the compound. Not even close. Even if it was 10 dudes
Interesting.
and all, but you don't know all the aspects, and here's why. But this is gonna, I don't know how spicy this is nowadays. Actually, I have no idea. Like take Michael Jackson for example. Okay, like no.
That's a good example after the results came out of the.
Right, but that's
Yeah,
kind of my
no,
point.
no.
It's actually
I'm with
exactly
you.
my
Keep
point.
going.
Okay, I can separate the art from the artist. Okay, I can listen to Michael Jackson and not think of, you know, actually, I don't know that I can listen to Michael Jackson and not think of the shit that came out about Michael Jackson, if only for a moment, you know. But I can listen
Yeah.
to it and still be like, I like this music. Right.
Shimon.
Yeah, right. I can do that. There's plenty of people that can't because they can't. They literally are like that. He is evil. Thus, everything he does is
Yeah.
evil. So that to
Yeah.
me, someone who is evil could never do good without it being something that is feeding into the evilness. Pure evil, like to use the word evil in description of an individual, would mean that no good could ever come from them, but that's not the case. Even Michael Jackson, despite him being basically a terrible person for the mass majority of things, how bad the actions were that he took outweighed any of the good things he could have done, but he still did good things. Even if it in most, I would even say 100% of people are that way. There are still things that the worst
Nobody's
person,
entirely one way or the other.
right? But to me,
So
evil
let me ask you this.
needs. If you're going to call someone evil, it needs to be 100%.
I actually will agree with you on the, if you're going to call someone evil, it needs to be 100%. That I will attest to. But let's say we'll go with the Michael Jackson allegory because this is a great one. Let's say Michael Jackson has a personal assistant, and this personal assistant knows everything that he does. All the bad shit, all the good shit, knows everything.
Right.
But never actually does anything about the bad stuff. Would you say that that person is committing an act of evil?
Wait.
Not enough information.
Yeah, probably not enough information, but
Wait, well, no. Let's say, okay. I mean, I don't
wait,
know.
Wait. No.
But...
Hold on a second. One more time. I just want to clarify something about the original question. Did you say this person is aware of what they're doing? That's it.
100% aware.
So they're basically like right.
Right.
So they're basically like an eternal like bookkeeper of all of Michael Jackson's good and bad deeds. Right?
Imagine that this person exists as Michael Jackson's eyeball.
Right.
He sees,
right.
knows.
Yeah,
and
he's keeping track. This person knows everything, right? But they're not in control. They can't stop him.
But they're not doing anything.
No. Could they? Could they?
What do you mean? Could they?
In this,
what are the consequences of them saying something?
Yeah.
For them?
Well,
nothing.
No,
Is their family threatened?
Actually, technically speaking, that's not even what I meant.
Kind?
You're literally talking about a fictional character. So I'm asking in this hypothetical, does this person, this entity that sees and knows all about Michael Jackson's good and bad deeds, do they physically, can they do something? Can they tell the police? Can they are they capable of doing it?
Of course. It's a human. It's a person. They're a personal assistant.
Yes, but this person.
Oh, yeah, last time you said it was an eyeball.
You did say it was an eyeball.
That was a metaphor. Sorry, I didn't clarify for the
Oh my god.
Chat. It was fucking.
Okay.
This
no,
person,
that's okay.
They exist, right? So they could pull out their phone,
call the
click
police.
3 buttons,
and
call the police.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
As Macaulay Culkin is checking into his bedroom upstairs, like they can call the police.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But they don't. But they don't. Would you say that this is a person that is either A, committing an act of evil, or B, supporting an act?
At best would be like supporting, or what's the word that people like to use for people that don't do anything about people who take drugs? What's it called?
Enablers.
Enablers, like something like that.
So you wouldn't condemn that person?
That's
enabling the act of evil?
Well, I wouldn't. I never said I would. Yeah, I would condemn them, sure.
So
But they're not evil though.
But that's my point of view of like condemning an entire compound. Is that
but you just gave no. Hold on.
Killing is totally different.
Words that will fucking ban us on TikTok or Twitch or whatever. Like
ones that won't get you banned that actually mean.
Okay, hold on. So I agree. I would condemn, quote unquote, those people at the compound. I would do that. I would not say that they all need to be annihilated, though. Like, I wouldn't do that. And bear in mind, I don't even like people. Okay, like
but I don't know.
I don't like people, and I generally think they're terrible. If they wanted, if for example, if they knew that all the people were out of the building, and let's say they even had information on one particular individual that they for sure knew was committing these atrocities, and that person was left in the building, everyone else was gone and they could prove it, and they wanted to nuke the entire facility, knock yourself out. I don't care about that. But my thing is the lack of evidence, generally speaking, and I guarantee you, going back full circle to the original start of this conversation, when you're talking about wet teams going in and evacuating an individual, it is in such an emergency situation, they don't have time to run background checks, probably even on 10 people, to see whether or not they're warranting it. And even think about it, all through society, we pretty much damn past cultures for executing people without proper evidence, and even nowadays it's still a huge sore spot, so I wouldn't say that we damn everyone for executing a group of people. No, I'd say if you look back in history, there are plenty of examples where there was enough, people used to get executed all the time for stupid ass reasons, things that you and I
Right.
today would not agree with. Okay, and and sometimes those reasons weren't even proved, even if it was the quote unquote law of the time.
Yeah,
They weren't
yeah.
even proved because they didn't have the
I mean,
evidence.
yeah.
Right, to do it. So we condemn and damn the decisions of leaders of the past for these dumb ideas and mistakes of killing people based upon not enough evidence. And I'm generally the same idea. I think even if you take, what's the question? Glitch and I talk about it fairly often. What is it? You'd rather have like a guilty person out of jail than an innocent person in one. I think I would lean that way. I think I agree to that, which is
Wait,
like,
what way? Is an innocent person out of jail, right?
meaning, would you rather have, how does it go? It's like whether you would have,
Would you rather have a guilty person free or an innocent person imprisoned?
yeah, I would rather have a guilty person free.
I would too, especially because I'm not exactly sure that the concept of punishment is actually anything useful in human society in the first place.
No, punishment in its classic terms, probably not. No.
Yeah, I mean,
What is what's punishment in classic terms?
Well, what I mean is like, I think that we haven't figured it out yet because honestly, I think we're too impatient is probably our biggest problem as humans. But like, this is gonna sound so cheesy, and I don't mean it the way everyone else probably means it when they use this word at all. Probably quite different. I think rehabilitation's actually done right could actually prove to be wildly efficient.
I would agree with
Yeah.
that.
And I not what we think of rehabilitation modernly, but like a different version. But I also believe that education is literally the silver bullet to every one of our ailments.
yeah,
Like fixing.
most of them, I'd say.
I literally couldn't. One time I sat and tried to think of a time where a higher education, and by that I don't mean like college, I mean just more, I guess more education, a circumstance that would not be solved by having more education. I couldn't think of one.
Solved, I feel like, is a strong word, but I would agree that I don't think there's
I-
anything
yeah.
that couldn't be aided by more.
Right.
Like,
Okay,
Yeah.
just to push on it, not because I actually know for sure, but I will stand by solved. Like what?
No,
like
I would disagree with solved.
why? Give me an example of something that couldn't be solved by more education.
Someone who is violently schizophrenic.
Okay.
Solve
yes.
that with education. You can
Okay.
aid
All right. No.
that with someone
Hold
who
on.
has
Hold on.
education.
Now, admittedly, I'm taking a bet. I'm hedging this. Okay. But imagine a world. in a world where everyone is so educated that things like poverty were gone. That things like hell yeah, racism, all these ideas like this, like truly utopian intelligent society will probably have come up with cures for those issues. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we live in a utopia. No one's bad and everything's great.
No, I'm not even saying no
But
one's
that's
bad.
not the
I'm saying
world we live in.
no, but I didn't say it was. My only argument was that education in some fashion or another is a cure for all the issues. It just because it's further down just because it's further down the line of an educated society, it's not the first thing that would get fixed. But if you have nothing but a bunch of smart motherfuckers running around, you're probably gonna come up with some, if you're not so busy hating one another, dropping bombs on other places, and you're allocating resources, time, and energy into figuring shit out that needs to get figured out. I don't think that there are, I believe that there actually are little to no problems that over a long enough timeline can't be solved. Whether or not we kill ourselves or destroy ourselves within that timeline is obviously the question. But beyond that, I don't know. I literally can't think of anything that I wouldn't hedge my bet on a long enough timeline couldn't be fixed. Space travel, whatever the case may be, the shit that we have seen even in our lifetimes of the evolution of like scientific research and development, dude, like I don't know that, again, I can think in like at least for this idea, I can think in millennias. I'm not thinking in like, generations. It's like,
Okay.
it over a long enough timeline, absolutely. There are, like, for example, I said we're impatient, right? Like that's, I think, our biggest problem as a species.
Right.
And that literally means to me, like, let's say you could solve even some of the smaller things, like not smaller in severity, but smaller in like practicality. Like for example, in our heads, it practically should not be an actual difficult problem to solve to get people clean drinking water throughout the world, right? Like practically. We,
Okay.
we,
Yeah.
we have
I would agree with that.
we can ship stuff. We have bottles. We have tons of hell, man. Look at all the water that's at gas stations and the fridges and stuff. Getting people clean drinking water is not technically an unsolved thing. We know how to do it. It's that there's too much other shit going on in politics and bureaucracy and governments and shit like that, and greed and all these other things that don't allow that to take place. There's too much turmoil, right? But we know how to do it. In a society where we focused on a knowledge and learning and training and teaching, I actually think that thing would be one of the quickest solves you'll probably see.
Yeah.
You know,
the issue wouldn't exist.
Yeah, the issue wouldn't exist, exactly. But so that's why, yeah, I think I'm comfortable saying solving, but I guess the caveat being on a long enough timeline.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think that's the problem that I'm having with the idea is, like, yes, of course, like everything with a long enough timeline is possible. Eventually, humans will be able to fly, like just by themselves, like just levitate.
If we
off the
wanted
ground.
to, if we wanted to,
That
maybe.
will probably
No.
Here comes the
Absolutely
doubter.
not.
Here comes
It's
the
not a
doubter.
doubter. It's an evolutionary fact that we're not
doubter.
just going to suddenly
No,
fly because
but
it's been a long enough
Triceratops,
time.
Triceratops. We're already seeing genetic altering taking place today.
If we're doing some sort of synthetic, artificial, blah blah blah, maybe, but not. We're not just gonna be
now
flying.
we've gone from no to maybe.
No,
Interesting.
bear in mind, yes, because Triceratops was thinking on an evolutionary
No,
thing.
I'm just fucking around.
Yeah,
No,
and
I'm
I would
just
agree.
fucking around.
But if that's why I said that totally could happen if
But-
we wanted it to happen. If we
So
put
how would you? So yes, we've painted this world of everything is solved over a long enough timeline. Everything's great. But right now, in the reality that we actually exist in, what would you suggest would be the actual form of punishment versus the way that we do it now?
I think the closest that I've, again, only kind of seen in fiction, I don't know a ton about it, is I think it's Norway.
Yeah.
It's one of the northern...
They have rehab facilities for like prisoners.
Well, no, yeah, but even I'm pretty sure even like the prisoner of prisoners, like the worst actors in those situations.
See, I think that's propaganda. I know what you're talking about, and I think that's propaganda.
Yeah, hey, you know what? If it is, then so be it. But it doesn't mean I don't disagree with the propaganda. Like if the propaganda was real, like if that's actually what was happening, I would be down. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Now, bear in mind,
I agree.
Now, bear in mind, I'm saying this from the perspective of not someone who's having that crime committed against me, and maybe if I was the individual that the crime was perpetrated on, I would feel differently. But that's kind of why we don't let, or we do, quote unquote, do our best to not let prejudice into the quote unquote punishments. I'm not even against the idea of punishment. I think we have the wrong idea of what punishment is. Does that make sense? Like I think that punishment can mean a lot of things. Like I feel like human beings are by their own actions often punishing themselves. Like honestly.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so
we are a self-policing species. That's part of how we survived so long.
Yeah, so I'm not against punishment inherently. Just what we think it should be is kind of what I'm against. What about you? Do you like the way we do things here?
I would agree with that. No, I actually am not for the way that we punish people now. But I would say that
you don't have any ideas of how you would like it to be. I'm fine with locking people up. It's just the locking up is what it looks like. Like,
so the thing the thing that's hard for me to, and this is sort of I believe is the struggle is like we're playing with a hand of cards that we were dealt, right? We are doing what we're doing the best with what we've got.
Wait,
right?
we being just people in general?
We just humans, the
Okay.
human race,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it would be great if we had a penal system that was based upon a spectrum of your crime, right? Oh, you embezzled $1 billion from Facebook. Obviously, you're not a fucking like you're not someone that's gonna hurt other humans. You just like to steal money.
Well,
So we're gonna put you in this prison. But if you're like a rapist, murderer, torturer, like we're gonna fucking put you in the gallows, you know, like that kind of shit. Like if you're like a human that doesn't know how to be a good human, you should be punished. To
are
the
you
full
are you a
extent.
human who doesn't know how to human? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wait.
And so like to me.
Yeah,
that would
but
be
you and I
the
are only gonna. Well, wait.
beautiful utopia.
I don't know if we're actually gonna disagree. I am assuming, judging from what you said, I don't really know for sure, but I just think we're going to disagree on what the fullest extent means. I don't know that I actually disagree on that someone should be. I just think the disagreement's going to come on what the fullest extent is.
Okay, so let's pretend that there is a rapist, like a child artist / torturer, murderer.
Yeah.
Like
Freddy Krueger,
most
dude. Freddy Krueger. I'm with
the
you.
most despicable person that you can think of.
Yeah.
Imagine they're up for trial.
Yeah.
Why would you rather rehab them than just take them off the planet?
Again, these are all words that we're not. You're using rehab in its very.
You said that you're pro rehab, right?
Yes,
Like,
but I
you'd
also
rather
said yes,
rehab
but
a
no.
person.
But I also said that I don't mean it in the way that we use rehab to like rehabilitation today.
Okay,
Like,
sorry, I must have not like registered that.
Yeah.
But
I like for
I understand what
example,
you mean.
like there's quite a bit of stuff that we do in society that's kind of like pointless, really, like in general. But
Yeah,
but let me give
okay.
you an example. Like that person should not likely, generally speaking, I'm again envisioning like Freddy Krueger pre his superpowers of haunting dreams. Okay.
And being a movie star.
No,
by
well,
the way.
that's Robert Englund.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Anyways,
Same guy.
pre that he was like a child murderer, and then later in other movies he was said to. They kind of alluded to him being like a child diddler.
Artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like with someone like that, I would agree that they should not be in society. But the type of prison is where I'm gonna probably fight most of that. And it's like, okay, even if they have
Wait,
this.
why even have a prison?
No.
Why not
Again,
just
prison
fix
being
them?
well, So I don't actually have a huge view or a strong view. I think I could be pushed in either direction with enough evidence. I don't have a huge hardcore view on capital punishment. I see things against it and things pro it. But I'm also, with all the money we spend, I think we could offer a type of prison that is more humane, at which point it literally would look nothing like you and I when we think of the word prison. It would look, you could use the word, I suppose, but it would look nothing like what it looks like today. It would be like,
Right.
imagine almost community centers sort of built out with these people. Like they'd be locked up. They wouldn't be allowed to just join society and shit like that. But they would just be, doing their thing inside prison. Not their thing, not the murdering and all that. Yeah.
Hey, man,
But they
we're
would
gonna
just
put
be
you in a
living the
room,
rest
do
of
your
the
thing,
worst people would be just living the rest of their life in containment of some sort. I
I don't
imagine.
know, man. I like what. So what would you say is the So let's make a pros cons list. What would you say is the con of just wiping people out that don't fit in society?
The single chance that you wipe out
Pretty
someone
much the
that
whole phrasing you just used.
yeah,
That would be
well,
my
no.
statement.
For me, it's the single chance of killing
And you
someone.
do the wrong person.
Yes, yeah.
This is coming from someone who is a self-described cynic, right? Like you think
Yes,
people are
and
just
I'm
bad.
and I'm cynical. That's not what cynicism means.
Yeah.
But my cynicism is is towards prison systems. So that's like
That's fair.
I know that people are bad. I know that people do bad things. I'm not cynical about that. I just, if anything, I'm cynical that I think more that we take more actions likely that are quote unquote, or at least would be viewed by modern society as bad every day, that most people don't realize, and thus generally turning them into hypocrites, in my opinion. But and because of that, I want, like, it's kind of one of these things where it's like, let's assume for the moment that weed was treated even more illegal than it ever was. Like that the war, quote unquote, war on drugs was not a war on drugs, it was a war on weed. Okay.
Well,
And
it was in the 80s.
right, but only weed. And it's only ever been weed.
Like
And
it
it's
was like it's as bad as like murder.
yeah, like an
and torture.
executable offense. Like depending on
Right.
where society is at and its views on things, like we at that time in this hypothetical world or whatever would literally not care about executing people for that, but we might later really fucking regret doing it.
Which is, yes, that, and I 100% agree with that.
So aside from
the
an
problem
innocent,
is-
so aside from an innocent person being potentially killed, the other terror is that the hubris that we even know what should be punished for and what shouldn't be, I think is already a flaw.
But I think that is part of the human condition. Is
That doesn't make it
we,
a-
as a
right,
group,
right.
decide what is bad and what is good.
No, but you know what the other part of the human condition is like considering whether or not we're right. Like the ability to actually contemplate whether or not our views on things as like a self-aware entity, you know, like we have the ability to say, when I again think this is a huge problem that people fall prey to, is just immediately assuming that they are that their opinion is the correct opinion to have. We all do it. We're all very, 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 very guilty
Absolutely.
of it.
Absolutely.
I've never done it once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My grandpa used to say all the time that like when two people fight, both of them are right.
Yeah, in a way, yeah. I mean, and both of them are wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's sort of the idea.
Yeah.
is that, like,
So
both people are, you know, fighting for what they think is the correct thing.
and also bear in mind my idea of like a prison where it's more of like a community center kind of thing. It couldn't just exist in the world we're at right now. We'd have other changes that would have to be made at the same time. Nothing is a complete. The only silver bullet is time and education.
Would you say that your sentiment to having this rehab facility
It's not-
versus prison kind of thing?
Dude, you're like,
No, sorry,
I can't stress enough how much using these
I'm
words
trying
is
not
such
to
a.
fucking...
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was
you
just gonna
go
say,
ahead.
using these words just is like, it doesn't do justice to the idea, because
I understand.
these yeah.
I do, like, I feel what you're saying is like give the bad guys like an opportunity to become good guys.
No,
right?
no,
Like that.
no, not even. Just give
Oh,
them.
so you're just full blown saying like treat the bad guys humanely.
Yes, but truly humane, not what we do now. Actually humane.
Huh. Well, that just fucking completely derailed my idea.
Yeah, I'm like, and bear in mind again, though,
so
you and I.
would put,
Oh
like,
fuck!
So you would rather like let's just throw out a common household name, Hitler. You
Yeah.
would rather him just live in like a cushy cell playing pickleball every Sunday and eating like the greatest of meals every day after he led an entire nation into like hate crimes.
I would say that in that example, that if it meant
But the
no,
people do exist.
No, hold on. I know. But in that example, if that meant that all my other prerequisites for this quote unquote society were met, not just ones I've listed, but other ones I can't think of and other ones that I haven't listed,
Okay. I get what you're saying.
that yes, I would say that. But in this
Huh.
society, nah, that wouldn't work.
No, I would say
That's
if
very-
we were
that's
doing
very
what Mike did
utilitarian.
and there was some sort of rehabilitation going on, he might not have gotten to the point where
That's
that
yeah,
level of his crimes even came to
that's
be.
true. Yeah, that's a good point.
there's no way that he would have gotten a rehab because there was no like
No,
one would have
no,
sent him to
no, no,
rehab.
no, no, no.
My word.
That's not what Triceratops is saying. That if what I'm talking about actually existed prior, say it was the way things were, he might not have gotten to that point ever. He might have just stayed a fucking painter.
That's what I'm arguing against. Is that no one would have had indicators that he would cause a genocide.
He wouldn't
and
have.
send him
He
to
wouldn't
rehab.
have. He likely wouldn't
It's
have.
not like he just poofed out of the fucking nothingness, and then all of a sudden was like 21 million people are murdered.
Yeah.
And it's 1945.
There's
Like,
plenty of.
shit led
There are
up to
plenty
it.
of steps
In
that
in
led
Call
up
of
to
Duty
it.
Zombies, he just showed up. Like it wasn't.
Yeah, no, I think that generally, again, in combination with, say, my education idea, I don't think that would have likely ever happened. I don't think a lot of shit would happen if people were smarter. Most of our hatred and all the things that we do because of it comes from fear, and fear comes from not knowing. So, generally, the more you know, hopefully the fear would be reduced, and then thus, the hate would be reduced.
Yeah,
So
I would agree with that.
it's a lovely little trail. Okay. So yeah. So yeah, no, I understand. Having said that, I understand why we're at where we're at in society. I get how we got here. But going back to our original conversation about the whole like 11 Nazis sitting at a table kind of thing. Part of learning and whatnot is actually sitting at a table with Nazis.
Yeah, there was who was the fucking what was the guy's name? He was a
Are you talking
he
about?
was a black guy
Yeah.
that would
Yeah,
go to Klan rallies.
he's still doing it today. He's
Fucking
that guy is,
Ralph stuff.
to my understanding,
Ralph
is still
Roberts.
to this day
Daryl
involved.
Davis. Daryl Davis.
yeah.
Yeah.
I actually saw a live with him recently, and he's still doing it today, from my understanding. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And so that's why, like, when I first like presented that metaphor, I had said like it sort of depends on where you sit on the fence of this metaphor of when you sit at a table and 10 Nazis join. There are now 11 Nazis. Do you know, like that was sort of bringing up the conversation of, do you think there are 11 Nazis or do you think
No,
there are 10 Nazis and one guy that's trying to make a change?
I mean, absolutely. Well, no, I'm not going to say that either. Just because you're sitting at a table with Nazis and not saying anything, there's other reasons why you might not be saying anything.
Yeah, maybe your seat was taken. And these guys don't speak your language.
Yeah, maybe.
and-
I don't know, but
yeah,
but
there's tons of reasons.
yeah. So no, I would not agree with that statement. Not even a little bit. Especially in a society nowadays, I think absolutely would say that there's 11 Nazis. Generally speaking,
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think that most people would say that nowadays, which is unfortunate. I think honestly, over the last 10 years of my life, I have met more people that I appreciate, like as individuals, that actually wildly disagree with me. And it's really,
Am
and
I one of them?
Sometimes.
You're like, yeah, you disagree with me, but I don't appreciate you.
no, sometimes, but like, you know,
No,
like,
I'm kidding. No.
you know, it's like people, it is actually a really weird feeling to like someone as a friend or even a family member, like you like them, but they actually do deviate from your thought on things, like say important things.
Yeah.
It's really an awkward experience to be like, how can I like you so much in these other
Dude, it
ways,
Fucking
but like,
intrigues the shit out of me.
but like we deviate so hardcore. There might be some, the only thing I can think is that there might be some like either cognitive dissonance on both parties in that situation, because you would think
Right.
that when it comes to super important ideas, that to really get along with someone, there's got to be a set of, I don't want to say morals, but maybe morals, that you both are agreeing on, like, that allow you to like that person. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
yeah.
But that's happened, yeah, I'd say more in the last 10 years for me than it's ever happened at any other time in my life. It's just meeting people that I almost wholesale disagree with on certain views, and yet we still manage to get along. And I would like to see more of that. I don't understand it,
Yeah,
but I
wouldn't
want
that
to.
be
But
fucking
I
great?
want to see more. I want to see more of it. You know.
But what sucks is like even the idea, right? Like even the statement. I would like to see people get along that don't agree with each other's moral stance, or not even moral stance. A good term would be like political stance. Is like I would rather see, or I would like to see more people get along that differ politically.
Okay, but here's the thing for me. I will say this
That is
too.
like a bad statement
Is that
to make.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. Mine is a little bit more. Actually, now that I kind of like.
Nuance?
No. It's a little bit more manipulative because I believe that you can change. Maybe not change. Well, maybe you can change people's minds by giving them room to talk. Even if that talk is hate, right?
Yeah.
And maybe it's not in the first conversation. Hell, your conversation with them where you're quote unquote understanding or at least letting them speak, you might never talk to them again. But you could be one of the things that later in life, if they end up changing their views on things, ends up actually being a part and a piece of that change.
Yep.
Because don't get me wrong,
Absolutely.
there are plenty of conversations I can imagine, and some that I've been a part of that I really wish I hadn't been a part of and hope that I never am a part of, because I legit don't know how my mammalian dumbass like brain would react to people saying certain things like in a serious manner.
Right, yeah. But that's like one of the best ways to like, it's not change people's minds, it's sort of like, I mean, manipulate them
It's
into
manipulative.
understanding the better way, I guess.
Who is that guy we were just talking about?
Super religious. Daryl Davis.
Yeah, I mean, manipulation is a very negative connotation to it, but ultimately, I mean, that's kind of what he's doing.
And one thing that I've learned over the years of just existence is like if you're talking to someone who has
Daryl Davis is amazing, yeah, for sure.
Like a terrible take on, you know, whatever moral stance you might have, right?
Yeah.
The best way to like talk to them is one, let them speak, and two, always ask them why.
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
Yeah.
Why is that the case for you?
Yeah, I'm definitely.
And then make them explain it to you why they think this race is worse than that race. This blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And you'll notice that through the conversation, they will have a fucking epiphany. And
no, because no, that's not.
They will is a little strong. They might.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You gotta meet my family, buddy.
I think the reality is closer. One, they have to respect you, and most people in general just don't off the bat respect someone. So what you're describing, I'm pretty sure is like verbatim the Socratic method. Like it's literally using questions, right? But the good thing about the Socratic method, the best thing about it, is that generally it's the least aggressive way to argue with someone, so much so that in a way they don't even know you're fucking arguing with them.
They're arguing themselves for you.
And they think you're just asking to get to know. So like while in that hypothetical about the 10 or 11 Nazis at a table conversation, right? Like you wouldn't have to actually be arguing with them about their belief systems. You could just be asking questions, and that might be enough to just push one of them a little bit more in another direction, Now if you said the 11th person sits down and starts like to quote unquote fit in, starts like mimicking all of their actions, then yeah, I would say there's 11 Nazis sitting at that table then in that situation. Yes, I do actually. There's a lot you can do that is not joining in. Joining in is actually where I see the problem. The whole hypothetical or the thought experiment is a way of literally making people think that by just being in the presence of, you are automatically. I disagree with that.
Yeah.
But I totally,
It's guilt by association.
yeah, but just doing it because, and just getting involved because that you're sitting at the table, that I disagree with. I've literally sat at the table with people I wildly disagree with, and I may not be arguing with them, but I am at the very least not joining in on their idiocy. This has gone in a wild direction, this conversation. I love it.
This is a great talk. I love joining in because it.
And yet you do it so rarely.
It's more frequent recently.
That's true, yeah. And actually, you're sounding really good. Are you on your phone?
Yeah, I'm on the same setup that I've always been on.
You must be in like maybe a quieter area or something like that. I don't know.
Nope, I'm in my garage. And I've got a fan on. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the way my phone is working. I don't know.
Well, you sound nice, Kyle. Okay.
Thank you.
We're gonna clip that one. Where's that? How's your secret base going? Triceratops, if you're still there.
Oh, it is. It's going pretty well. I finally have completed the stone masonry part of it. I just gotta basically do the roof. Oh, don't you fuck with Kelvin, motherfucker.
There we go. Damn.
Oh, well.
Did you know how that guy got started doing what he did?
Who? Daryl Davis?
Yeah, I heard him tell the story. I didn't know how he got started doing it. I thought it was really interesting.
I'm pretty sure he was doing police ride-alongs.
No. If it's the same guy I'm thinking of, the guy who's like converted X amount of like KKK members into, yeah. He actually, if the story I heard from him was that he was performing. He was in a band and he was performing at this like small club. And
that's right.
Yeah, and a dude came up to him that was a member and said, I didn't, essentially espouse the idea of like, didn't know that black people could like be that good essentially at music.
Yeah.
Which is kind of silly to begin with. But and so he, I guess, like ended up changing that guy's mind over, I'm obviously butchering the story, but and then later from that experience he met other people through that guy that I guess he then did it again, and then it kind of became like his thing.
Yeah. The instance that I'm thinking about is that later on
he probably did do police ride-alongs. I'd imagine.
He would do police ride-alongs as a quote-unquote journalist, and then just kind of like hang out with these guys and just talk to them. Right. And that's where like one of his more like prolific stories, when he talks about riding along with a police officer that was like really racist, and he was kind of like, why don't you, like, why do you target these black people? And like he went into like phrenology and like all the crazy like woo shit that racists like to use, and he was, and like Daryl was like, well, wouldn't you say that I'm pretty smart? Like I've done pretty well with my life, blah blah blah. And he's like, yeah, you have. And he's like, so why am I not a criminal? Why am I living the white man's dream? And he was like, I never thought of it like that. And it's like that's all it took to like take this guy and be like, I never thought of it like that.
Well, because at the end of the day, dude, like I think one of the common things, at least in the US, it's probably true everywhere, honestly, but I experience it more in the US, is the idea that, yeah, dude, like most people just aren't, frankly, from my experience, they're just not introspective.
Dude, yeah, and there's a lot of times
people also aren't intellectually honest.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, frankly, they're fucking dumb. Like, they're just legitimately stupid, and they only learn from other dumb people.
Yeah, his approach is pretty cool. I'm sorry, I was just talking to someone in chat. Yeah, the approach is a really good idea, and it's probably, I mean, if you actually boiled it down to something that could be applied like an applicable, almost like textbook of how to handle situations like this. There's probably some like really valuable, it's probably actually someone else has already probably come up with it, but some really valuable like teachings in how he decided to handle those situations.
Right.
But yeah, getting more people to be a little bit more, what'd you say, like even intellectually honest, both with themselves or other people, would be a pretty good way to move the needle as well. See, dude, you got your like random philosophy talk in before your crazy party tonight. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, I can't wait for the fucking the stimulant fueled. We should start a business talk. Or we should make a movie.
Those are great talks.
They are. But I do have to get off here, y'all.
Cool,
Speaking
dude.
of, I'm gonna get off here and go live my life as the libertarian that I am.
All right, dude. Have a great.
Hey, by the way, before you bounce, Kyle, isn't Daryl Davis and what he does kind of the best answer for why we don't just off bad people?
Uh-oh.
Huh.
I mean, he's literally doing the let's not do that method, and you were just praising it. So, wouldn't that?
I wasn't necessarily praising it. I was just asking. Like I don't really have a stance either way. I'm just kind of like asking. Like,
No, I didn't say you were praising offing people. I said you were praising Daryl Davis's, work that he does.
No,
And
I was.
If
But I
that's
also
something that
wasn't
you view
praising
positively,
offing
I
people.
would
Yeah, if I'm gonna
find it
debate
odd to.
creative,
think
if
the other
I'm
way, I
gonna
guess.
debate cursed on a subject, I'm not gonna just be like, yes, I agree, I love that. Yeah, that's a great point. I'm gonna fucking pick something that I can, kind of push on, and that's a pretty easy subject to kind of push on.
Mainly because,
I mean,
yeah, no, I'm
honestly,
with you.
if I was gonna get down to brass tacks, I would absolutely love a world where we could take all the bad people, all the people that are rapists, torturers, murderers, fucking all the disgusting people that just
I'm
want to
actually
harm other
kind of
people.
fine with rapist torturers. I don't think rapists really deserve that much respect.
No, like in a perfect world, you would take them to a fucking a place, and you would say, and you would fix them. You would mentally fix them, right? But in like a utilitarian aspect, it's like, like we can just nix the bad ones.
Well, that's why
and
I said
there will be more people
I want
coming
to
along.
go
Like,
back to a statement Mike said a few weeks back. I don't think that's necessarily the utilitarian perspective on it.
that is literally the utilitarian perspective of it, is to kill all the bad people.
Well,
because
no.
more
Oh,
people
that's
are
right, because I
coming.
forgot how utilitarian parents, like the moment their kids do something wrong, they're like, oh, that would shoot them out back. Yep.
Yeah, there's no actual like.
There's no parenting in utilitarian.
Well,
people
bear in
or
mind,
any of those
it depends again. Yeah, like just like we talked about with the whole utilitarian thing. It's about A, what the utility is, and like you and I could easily disagree on this if we both were striving for a different utility.
Yes,
Yes.
but no, utilitarianism is literally doing something for the better of the whole. So killing all the bad people would be better.
No. It would be
the whole
it would be
population.
a solution that could be better for the whole population.
Okay, hang on. Let me rephrase that. It would be better for the whole population as is now.
I would say
If the
No, no.
world was ran by an evil person and we all wanted to be evil, then no, killing all the evil people would be terrible, because then the whole world would
no.
die.
Well, I don't want to.
Right,
I don't
but
know. I don't know
like,
how much time I have to argue with you, so I don't know if I want to. It sounds like you have to
I'm
go.
trying to leave. I don't want to
Like yeah. So yeah.
Anyways, love you guys.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah. Have a
I
great
hope you guys.
Saturday,
You're something
bro.
wrong, apparently.
Yeah, you guys have a great night.
All right.
I'll talk to you, Mike. You streaming tomorrow or no?
Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow.
Okay, I'll jump on. We can continue this.
All right.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll figure something out.
Cool, dude. Have a great night, man.
All right, later, guys.
Later.
See you, dude. And he's pretty violent.
I see the utility.
I think everyone should be murdered when they do anything wrong.
I see the utility in capital punishment, but mainly because of a real simple thing, which is that, dude, apparently keeping people, even in our prison systems, is stupid expensive, and killing people is apparently much cheaper. Like, as far as, like, if that were your only goal.
Is it much cheaper?
Supposedly.
What's our disposal method at this point? We just,
Well, no. So the most
putting
expensive.
any money into that?
So apparently the most expensive part of capital punishment is the fact that we don't do it quickly. So you keep these people alive on death row for. I'm pretty sure there are people that have spent, like, don't quote me on this, but I want to say there's people that have spent 20, 30 years on death row. Like, but the actual execution itself, compared to, say, a life-term sentence, is wildly cheaper than keeping someone alive for an entire lifespan. Which makes sense. Like, even if you go, I don't know what the most expensive form of capital punishment is. I have to imagine, oddly enough, it's got to be lethal injection or gas chamber. Because, like, I don't think hanging someone would be that expensive. I can't imagine, like, the electric chair is that expensive, you know?
Yeah.
So but all the chemicals and bullshit that we do for the gas chamber and whatnot, probably, that shit's probably expensive, I imagine. Dude, when Tylenol is as expensive as it is now, I'd imagine any kind of, like, anything that is, like, medication, chemicals, all that shit.
Yeah, probably.
So.
What the fuck is going on? Suddenly having building issues.
By the way, are you working on one building this whole time, or are you working on, like, a whole compound? I don't even want to say compound now.
A concept. But I have been working on, yes, a singular building at this point. What in the fuck, game?
How far have you gone in on the game prior to the building, or did you just start the building? Have you at least gone to get anything to make your life easier? Like the guns, the rope line, anything like that?
I did do some of that. I went and grabbed some shit for just ease of running around and defending myself while trying to build, but I haven't done. I'll put it to you this way: I ran around and grabbed everything that I could that didn't require the use of a key card.
Ooh, okay, all right.
So I mean, I do have, like, pretty much like the dude's full arsenal. I have all the axes. I've got the compound bow. I don't have the whatchamacallit, the crossbow, because that you of course have to use a key card to get.
Yeah, just barely, essentially.
Yep, but I was like, you know what? I figured the composite bow would be good enough, so I just left it alone for now, you know. And at some point I'll figure out how to get it, but for now I'm just having strange issues. You know how you can, like, put up logs to fill the gap when you have, like, a triangular shaped roof or whatever?
Yeah.
For some reason, on one side, I'm like literally almost done with this fucking building. I just need to finish the roof, and for some reason, this section of the roof is just being an asshole.
It sucks.
Doesn't want to do the thing. Yeah, it's not putting the logs in correctly, where it, like, clips off the end as you go further up the apex or whatever.
Yeah.
And I've had that happen before, but it's been a really long time since it happened. The last time it happened was before they released a patch to prevent that from happening, basically.
Yeah.
But apparently, it is happening again.
I found another stick. Oh, we're going to use this stick, actually. I need to get this out of here. Come on.
No, fine.
Pliers will work. Our bushes out front have a bald spot from where I stole all these sticks from. Bam, bam. I don't know if I want the stick to be there, or how about let's just put it in here.
Really, game? Are you fucking kidding me? You giant penis.
What's wrong? Just still giving you the issues.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, you gotta watch that. I'll send it to you later. That one video I watched, pretty short, but he brought up some other ideas about building that apparently there's something about something called like setting the grid, where like if you start a building, the game does this like AI thing where it sets a grid based upon how you first started building something that it tries to reference from the rest of the time. At least that's kind of what I got from the video. Was that like you actually can I don't want to like butcher it, but the video basically was like, oh, and you can do this thing to reset the grid. I'm like, what the fuck? And then what he was doing led me to believe that, yeah, basically in a general, say, vicinity, if you start going in a certain direction, the game thinks that you're basically going to continue on that idea. So it doesn't like reset to the new thing that you're trying to do. I don't know what that, I don't fully understand it, but that was the gist I got.
I don't either, but I wonder if that's... Oh, I always had a roof going on here. What the fuck, game? Oh, I wonder if that was why. That'd be silly, but it could be. Virginia, take them down. I'm trying to build a roof.
Boom, boom, boom.
Hit you in the face with a log, bro.
Dude, I was throwing the stones at bad guys while I was building the other day, and it doesn't
Me
do
too.
anything. Like,
yeah, it hits them, and then they're like, ugh, and that's it.
And I'm like, game, do you know what throwing one of these at a human being, like at a person, would do? Like,
yeah, dude.
even assuming for the moment that I agree that somehow I'm lifting up 3 of them, like, like now that I can just like toss them like they're like a pillow. Okay. I also haven't seen anything officially about how much stronger a stone structure is over a wood structure anyways.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
have you had them attack any of your stone structures yet, or no?
They've attacked my house a little bit, but generally speaking, I just kind of beat the shit out of them before they can really do much, and go around whacking it with a repair hammer. So
have you had to? You haven't had to like reset anything?
No, not yet. But so far, aside from once when I had a cat dog coming towards my house and I blew it up with a grenade, I've only had just, for the most part, just regular cannibals attacking.
Oh, okay.
And usually I see them. I think I know what their like patrol route is.
Oh,
so I
okay.
seem to find them before they actually get to the house most of the time too. So that's helped out.
And thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Boom, boom. Turn this a wee bit.
Just shot one of the big fat red dudes in the butt one time, and he went down.
What'd you shoot him with?
A compound bow. Oh, it was a carbon fiber arrow. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm guessing that bunker with the the aloe is probably the best carbon fiber like arrow location, right?
At least out of anywhere I've been in the game, it definitely is.
Dude, I
So it's
finally
what,
had a
like
good.
5 or 6 right there.
I finally had a good result from telling Kelvin to go find me arrows after you jumped off last night. I didn't really
Yeah.
have a need for them where I was currently working, and so I was like, "Fuck
Yeah.
it, go find arrows." And he brought back like maybe 8 arrows, a variety. There was a carbon fiber. There were 2 3D printed arrows.
Oh
Oh,
shit.
that's right, because it's he goes and gets your arrows after a fight. So I had been fighting
Oh.
in one area for a long time, so obviously he was able to just go and pick up the arrows of that general area.
Okay, that makes sense.
I wonder if he'll run up to a baddie, like while they're alive, to get an arrow out of them.
I just went inside of a mountain.
On purpose?
Not exactly, but kind of. If it lets me do that, that would be pretty neat. The hell are you guys doing? Nope. There we go. Okay. Mother trucker. Really? Huh. You know what? I'll do this.
Well, any big Forest fans are just gonna have to forgive the fire for not being creatively accurate to the game.
You ship it to Vlad, and he's just like, "Fuck this thing. The fire's all wrong."
Yeah, right. Yeah, because honestly, in the original Forest, at least, the fire is kind of lame looking. Like
Yeah.
it has a utility. Thank
Yeah.
you, Papa Willis. What? Pappy Swills. Thank you for the resubscribe.
Happy swills.
That name does not sound familiar, but thank you. Apparently 3 months. People always change in their screen names too.
That's for true.
But my memory also just sucks, so you know what?
Mystic Cannibal. I don't have time for you.
Need a different sculpting tool. Come on, stay where you're supposed to stay.
Dude, what the fuck?
I've always had, but I don't talk much in chat, so it's understandable. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Either way, I appreciate it. Like I said, I have a crap memory, so.
Game, come on.
All right, you're more boned up, probably, I would assume, although I don't know how much you remember of music theory than I am. So I have a question for you. You ready?
Yeah.
Have you ever listened, I'm sure you know what this experience is, where you're listening to a song and you can actually tell what the chord compression, like progression is going to be. Not because you're super aware of, say, what key the song is in, but you just know, like you can like preemptively almost hum along what's going to happen, even though you've never heard the song before, right? Do you know the experience I'm talking about?
I've had that experience on a couple of occasions. Yeah, it's generally very weird and unexpected, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and that's likely because you don't have to be familiar with music theory, but you're likely aware of that progression, right? That's probably the
Yeah.
reason behind it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would think.
Okay. That's that I was always curious about that. I'm like, how would I know that? How would I know that that's what's coming other than this is such a commonly used progression that is just it's probably almost even like a standard, you know? But it is eerie when it happens.
Word. All right, I'm gonna see if I can seamlessly flip from my PC to my phone since I am no longer playing the forest because that roof is pissing me off.
Okay. What are you gonna work on?
Say again.
Whoa! What are you gonna work on?
Oh, hold on. Apparently my speaker. Say that one more time, dude.
I said, what are you gonna do now if you're not working on the forest?
Probably eat something. I don't know. I might just hang out with Smooch. Seems to be chilling on the couch, right, big butt?
So you're gonna sign the you gonna go for that apartment?
It's a house, but yeah.
Oh yeah, house, sorry.
Yeah, I think I am. I like it. There's like the majority of the interior looks like it's like stuff that was done 30 years ago, you know? Some of it even older. Like there's some old timey shit I haven't seen since going to like my grandparents' house as a child. For instance, none of the bedrooms have lights in them. But they all do have ceiling fans installed, but you have to have those ceiling fans plugged into the wall to turn them off.
That's interesting. Huh.
Yeah, there's like cheap little chains that the cords are looped through. I'm guessing in sometime between the 50s and the 60s, people thought that looked classy based on some old relatives' houses.
Yeah, well, generally houses that old would also have or have that aspect. They'd also have the thing where some of the plugs in the walls were powered by switches. Bam, 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 bam. All right, guys, let's try and get the flames themselves kind of roughed in. I've filled up. Basically, what I've been doing is just going around and filling in the negative space of the fire pit, like the undercuts and all that, with clay. And also Triceratops. I don't know if you know this, but I can't hear you. I don't know if you're on mute.
Oh man, I'm talking for like 5 minutes and just figured out my mute was on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyhow, what was the gist of the last 5 minutes?
God, I'm an idiot. Cool. Turned off mute. Turned on don't listen to speaker.
I said, what has been the gist of the last 5 minutes?
Well, just the last 5 minutes is me apparently pressing random buttons on my phone and not realizing it, and then struggling to solve the situation.
How often do you use Discord on your phone? I've never used it on my phone. The chat.
Well, up until I pissed off Aaron this week by asking him to not be a flake, usually pretty regularly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, we usually chat twice a week or so, and 9 times out of 10, he'll hit me up on Discord when he does.
And you basically just use it as a phone.
Yeah, pretty much. For some reason, even though his Wi-Fi totally sucks and his screen constantly freezes, he always wants to do video chat. But video chat with him is essentially me just turning off and on my camera again, because that seems to refresh it.
You have an issue with it?
No, I don't. He does. But we both have to do that in order for him to see me again.
Yeah, I know people that really like video chat. I'm outside of meetings, I'm not a fan of video chat personally, but some people really like it.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it either, especially since like half the time that we're doing it, we're like playing a video game.
So you're not, yeah,
what's the point of being?
Yeah, you're not even looking
on video chat.
Yeah, you're not even looking at each other. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very silly, but whatever. It makes him happy.
Yeah, these flames are going to be way better than that. They're going to be big enough that I should be able to fit way more LEDs inside them. That was the other problem. Did you mute yourself again?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. You were just being particularly quiet. It was weird.
Yeah, I was zoning in on something, basically. I'm gonna go and get my friggin' toe taken care of.
It's your ingrown situation.
Yeah. It's rather uncomfortable, if I'm being honest.
You've had that happen before, right? I feel like we've talked about this. Like, you've had those issues for a while of varying degrees.
It's been nonstop since I was 7. It's never been... Well, we got a part of it, like, removed, and supposedly part of the, like, the cuticle or whatever killed. But that didn't take. So I've just, since I was, like, yeah, probably 7 or 8 years old, that toenail has just been constantly ingrown for years.
Wow. That toe's been ingrown or that nail's been ingrown for a quarter of a century.
All right, this time I'm also adding like a spiral to the fire.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen where like fires, just because of the wind, the atmosphere wind around it, like will spiral up kind of thing.
Yep. Smooching boy.
You don't really, at this point, just get rid of the toe, dude. What toe is it? Yeah, just
the big toe. It's the one that is the most valuable on the foot, so it can't. I mean, also, it would still be easier for them to just like maybe do the surgery correctly this time than to remove the whole toe. So there's that.
Do you think they're just gonna basically try and do the same thing again, like kill the cuticle, quote unquote?
Most likely. We had to do it twice on my right big toe before it actually took. So apparently, I just have unusually resilient cuticles for some reason. I don't know.
What's your superpower? Unresilient or very resilient cuticles.
Yep.
That's true. I could make you a prosthetic, man. Just get rid of the toe, man, and we'll just make you a prosthetic toe. We'll bolt it. We'll bolt it in.
I don't think I can do it. Keep the toe, I suppose. I mean, as long as literally nothing other than air touches it, it's generally pretty good. It's just physical things touching it,
like socks and shoes.
Like solid.
All right, so obviously we're gonna add like not spikes, but like flame protrusions out of this. This is very like two-dimensional right now, but it won't be. I don't know what you would call them. I wonder if there is like anatomy to or you know how like there's different type of clouds.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's words for different types of flames.
I'm sure somebody has come up with like a system for that by now. Fire's like what? The first thing we invented.
Yeah, that's true.
We didn't really invent it. Just figured out how to fuck with it.
86ing the toe that I lost a chunk of. I don't need that one. Well, you said Triceratops. You said that the big toe is one that is we need the most, right? Is that true?
Yeah, because like the whole purpose and importance of your toes. Well, I guess not the whole purpose, but one of the big important things about your toes is like that's pretty much where all the balance you get from your feet comes from.
Because I have heard that the pinky toe is a more of like a. People think it's not important, but it's actually more important than most people think it is.
They're important than most people think they are. I mean, you might be right about the pinky toe thing specifically. I don't know. I just knew that your toes are important, and I'm assuming with the big toe being like the strongest of them, that one probably has a big part in it, but yeah. I also don't actually know.
The one I'd get rid of is the ring toe. Oh, okay. You know what? That old friend of ours that shot their toe off, at first glance, you wouldn't even recognize that they were missing a toe because of how it healed. All the other toes just kind of squished together. So unless you were sitting there counting toes, like at first glance, it doesn't even look like they're missing a toe because it was on the inside of the other toes. So maybe the ring finger toe wouldn't be the worst one to lose because, again, like at least aesthetically, you wouldn't notice it.
All right. I won't be the one to find out, hopefully. So.
When do you actually have like an appointment? You noticed it?
Well, that's the frustrating thing is I got a referral for an appointment back in like December or whatever, but then apparently the day that I was supposed to have the appointment, the podiatrist office apparently forgot they had an appointment. Or they canceled it or something and just never notified me at all, but yeah.
Fairly mixed emotions about the anatomy of this fire pit here thus far. It's kind of working, but it's much bigger. So the flame is literally probably double the size. So I like this one, the original flame one, but we really want this bastard to be bright. If I need to fit 60 LEDs inside, okay, I'm gonna need a lot of room to do that.
How many?
Probably, honestly, 60 is the low end. So I imagine it'll be, if I could fit 100 in there, it might need to be that, honestly.
Dang, dude, that's a lot.
You ain't just whistling Dixie.
Actually, don't whistle Dixie ever, so true.
We might have to restart or redo this fire sculpt too, but at least I'll have tried this version of it, even if it doesn't end up working fully. Okay, TikTok. If you want to keep watching, I'm going to do the rest of the stream over on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick, creatively_curse. Go check it out. I'm wrapping up the TikTok stream, so I'll catch up with you tomorrow, TikTok.
The TikTok stream end before the other streams?
Say that again?
Why do you end the TikTok stream before your other, before the other platforms?
It's really just the one that is most, well, one, it's the most separated. All the other ones are run off of like a centralized thing, so I couldn't do it easily with the other ones.
Okay.
And two, for now, I would like, generally speaking, people on TikTok to try and come over. Like, I won't feel that way if I ever get to the point where I have 10,000 followers, because at 10,000 followers, I can stream to TikTok off the PC.
Okay.
Shogun, thank you for the follow. But right now, where I'm at 6,000 viewers, I have to stream from the phone. And the phone is obviously phone quality and stuff like that. So,
yeah,
it is irritating. Like right now, I have the rest of my chat is right there on the screen. I can see it. I literally have to use my Mac to, what's it called? Cast? Like Apple Cast to my Mac, so I can even see the comments coming from TikTok. Because as you can imagine, the phone being pointed at my work, I can't see what's on the phone. So if comments are coming in, I have no way of knowing. So, yeah, if I get to 10,000 followers, though, I can stream using the PC. So I might not feel the same then if that happens.
Okay. Makes sense.
But really what I need to do to get there isn't so much do lives. I have to start actually posting TikToks again. I haven't posted a TikTok in quite some time. Whenever I finished that synthetic skin for the tattoo, that was the last time I posted a TikTok. And that was like, I feel like 3-4 months ago now, so.
Dude, was it that long already?
Yeah.
That would have put it back in like February.
Yeah, I think that's when I did that, wasn't it? Like, I don't know, I could be wrong.
I mean, I don't honestly know it, but if that is the case, then time has.
It's so funny.
Time flies when you're not having fun.
Yeah,
too.
I literally told Kyle yesterday, I think it was, I'm like, I forget what we were talking about, but I literally said something. I'm like, well, enjoy it while it lasts, man, because apparently, I don't know when it happens, probably sometime around when you hit 30, all of a sudden, no matter what you're doing, days just seem to zigzag, or not zigzag, but just fly by. Like, it just, time is different.
Yeah. I read something that I couldn't remember well enough at this point to try to really explain, but I had read something a while back about there is apparently some actual change to our neurochemistry as we age, that makes it so that we perceive time differently as we go through different like phases of like, I guess, the adult life or the human life cycle.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, the shitty thing is apparently time lasts the longest when we're kids, and like we don't have any deadlines.
It's funny because
apparently time is like done already the moment you're an adult and you have work to do.
Yeah, the reason, the way I always looked at it, or like kind of like, I guess, try to logically understand why it is this way, is I look at it this way. So if you lived a day, an hour is a big chunk of that life. Okay. Right?
Yeah.
But as you get older, an hour is reference, because now you have your whole life as reference, right? An hour becomes a smaller piece of it. So someone who like, and by that, and just make those units larger into days and years. If your whole life has only been 6 years and you have to wait a year for something, that's going to seem like a very long time. But once you've lived for 30, 40, 50, 60 years, a year, even in experience, is shorter to you because your reference is shorter, right? That's I don't know if that's exactly why, but it would make sense, it makes sense to me that would be at least play a part into it.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense to me too, and I'm sure it's not entirely just neurochemistry that changes your perception of it.
Yeah. Okay, I wasn't liking it a ton at first, but now I'm vibing on it. I'm vibing on this fire. We got to make more hollower, empty. We need more negative space on this fire. We'll figure out how to do that later, but... I might make the very base of the fire a little wider just to increase how much light scattering you get. I'm okay. You mean like if it ends up lighting up the base too much? Yeah, see, if I make it wider, what I have to do, I thought about that. If I make it wider, I have to make all the stones bigger. Because the stones already are too small. They need to technically be larger. Because again, in the game, I think if Kyle might have been right, I think it was like 6 stones. I might, oh, that's not what you meant. I might make the very base of the fire a little wider just to increase how much light scattering you get. Meaning they might be preventing light from emanating out. I don't know. But if I make it wider, I have to make them bigger because there's no way that I can, even just making it as much bigger as I did, I had to add another stone. If I make it bigger again, I'll have to add another stone. Or I have to start over and get all bigger. Yeah, I do want it bright, but I don't understand how making, like, so one is that the LEDs are directional, right? So they're the brightest at the faces. So as long as I face them out, the light is going to scatter out no matter what. It's like there shouldn't be, all the flames are taking place above them. So I don't know if I fully get what you're saying. I was talking about the base of the fire itself. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, no, I'm still adding to this area down here for sure. You're right, though. That is true. Yes, I need to keep building this area out. The bigger I make it, too, as long as I guess aesthetically, as long as I nail the design, it shouldn't be too big of an issue. But right now, it's feeling a little, there's a word for it. I think it's just not enough negative space. I'm going to have to figure that out. The concept of even sculpting a fire is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, pretty curious thing.
Well, yeah, because it's not like you can like. What is the three-dimensional reality of a fire? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of a weird. Even if you obviously accept the ever-changing aspect of the flames, right? Like, it's still, even in a moment's time, what does a flame, like what three-dimensionally does a flame actually look like? if you could just like 3D scan an exact moment of time of a fire, would there be anything really there? Is a flame two-dimensional? Is it three-dimensional? Like you think it's two-dimensional, you would think it's three-dimensional. I don't know if it's like a flame is a cone or is a flame more of like a piece of paper, you know?
Yeah. I would assume the cone thing, but I guess to be honest with you, I don't actually know.
And then, so assume the cone thing, that's kind of what I think, but then is it empty? Is the cone literally, like, is the flame literally empty inside, or is it solid flame? Do you know what I mean?
Oh.
Like it's, and if so, what are we seeing? Are we only seeing the outside of the flame? Or are we actually seeing the whole flame? Is the part that's yellow, like if you could freeze it and cut it, is it yellow all the way through? Or is it only yellow because it's so thick that we're seeing it? Because have you ever seen a small fire or a small flame that's so small you can't even see it, but it's there? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like, there's a flame, we just can't see it, you know?
Those are a lot of questions I had never considered about fire before.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
And I've seen, like, there's plenty of...
I'm even curious about some of them now.
I've seen flames, like sculpted flames for toys before. I'm sure you've probably seen them too, like action figure shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And they always look bad because there's no good way to capture fire in like a sculpted form to make it look, I don't want to say real even, just like, honestly, to make it look appealing. Like,
yeah. My grandma, since you started sculpting this, or the flames for the bonfire, it's like anytime I see you working on it, it for some reason reminds me of this. Well, not for some reason, I know why, but it reminds me of this old Christmas decoration thing my grandparents had. I don't remember precisely what it was supposed to be, like maybe just like a winter wonderland scene or whatever. But anyway, there was a outdoor, like just a campfire, bonfire, whatever, on that thing. And it was a similar concept, just a small fire that was lit up from the inside. And that thing, I knew that it was a fire because of the color and context of what the whole thing was in the first place. But that one, as an example of badly sculpted flames, looked more like a stubby fox's tail.
Right. Yeah, that's probably going to be
the right colors.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. The thing I think of is I had the Jurassic Park compound as like a action set. Oh, yeah. And part of the compound was, of course, the infamous Jurassic Park gates that say like Jurassic Park across it. And I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, the big tall ones where Goldblum's like, what are they keeping there, King Kong?
With the whole T-Rex logo.
Right, but they had, if you remember, there's two really big torches on the sides of the gates. And they came, like, the compound came with the torches, and I think there was everything about that thing was battery operated and shit. And there was, I'm pretty sure the torches lit up, but they looked like little, like, really? They looked like feather dusters, kind of. Do you know what a feather duster is?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what they look like more than anything else. And that's what happens when you try and capture fucking flame, in a three-dimensional space, is it just looks fucking wonky. And then I was trying to think of times that, like, where is fire sculpted in classic art? Because you, like, generally you'll see some really good interpretations of different ideas in, like, the master works of X sculptor or whatever. And it's really not, they don't do it a ton. Like it's like I couldn't even think of one. And the biggest ones I could think of were more reliefs say of so you would see the flames as more of like a mix between a two-dimensional or a three-dimensional thing. So yeah, it's frustrating.
Huh. I guess flames really. I mean, I'm not an art person, of course, so I probably can't think of a lot of things a lot of people could. But I can only think of pretty much that Christmas thing and a few rare other things that have flames represented on them at all. Aside from fucking magic cards, but that's totally two-dimensional, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and of course, the bigger you get, the quote-unquote realism is a little bit more important. Like, I've seen little action figures with like, honestly, like you were talking about not magic, what's the one that's really popular for the little figure? Probably D&D and like Warhammer. Like, the bases will be like a base of flames, but they're so tiny that the general idea is pretty small, but it's the paint job that really brings them to life as fire, you know? So yeah, it's in the style I'm going with, like, even this feels like it's got too many flames. You ever notice that flames seem to scale with the size of the fire? Meaning, like, just because it's a big fire, if you consider each pokey outy thing a flame, they always have the same number of flames. It's just bigger versions of them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this one's got just, I think, too many quote unquote flames. I need to go talk to ChatGPT and see if it can tell me the anatomy of a fire, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Because there's got to be a reason. There has to be a reason that flames act the way they do. And I know that a big part of it's going to be the atmosphere in which the flame is in. Like, what's happening? Is it windy? Is it not windy? You know, yada, yada.
Yeah. You know, I'm trying to think of, now that we're talking about 3D representations of flames other than what you're working on actively. Have you ever been to like a museum that'll have a little case in the wall or whatever where it's supposed to be like a Neanderthal family or something like that?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if any of those have ever had like a campfire or something. You know, in any of the like early human beings sort of like exhibit.
Yeah, I would assume they do, but I don't know this for sure because I know exactly what you're talking about. The Chicago Museum of Natural History, I think is what it's called. I could be wrong. Is it Chicago?
Museum, maybe?
Maybe the Chicago. Yeah, maybe that was it. Has something similar to that. And if memory serves me, the way they show it is like a smoldering fire, right? So they just have like and then they might have like embers lit up or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
But and again, I can't say for sure that that's what it is, but yeah, all right. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. So, Triceratops, thanks so much hanging out this whole time, dude. I really appreciate it. Kept a good conversation going, and I'll be back on tomorrow. So if you wanna jump in, feel free to jump in. Otherwise, I'll catch up with you later, man.
All right, dude.
All right. Peace out, man.
Peace.
All right, guys. We got going with it. It's getting there. It's getting there. Let's see what we got here for scale. And then I'll head out for the day. Excuse me. Sculpting tools. About as wide as it's going to go right here, but you can see it is much larger than our last fire pit. God, this guy just dwarfs everything. We might have to, I don't know. I'm not molding this one again until I'm ready to go, and I'm really sure. My biggest mistake last time was not having the Armsy next to it. I'm gonna have to look at some of the pictures I had there, because at one time when we were playing the game where I was capturing stills for this project, I feel like now his legs are much more spread than they are in the game, but I swear there was a time where I saw the Armsy go into the fire pit, and the fire pit was about as wide as his stance. I could be wrong on that, but we might just be in generally working too small. I might need to like really think about this. Like maybe the pit needs to just be bigger. The flames and everything. I don't know. The rocks are my limiting factor right now. Everything else I can sculpt, be it the wood chunks or the flames, but I want the rocks to be pretty authentic. I could sculpt the rocks. I sculpted this rock, so I know I can do it. It's whether or not I think like that I I don't want to just use something that's pre-existing. So you have so many rocks. Yeah, the thing is I'm looking at this and I'm like, man, this fire pit might literally, these rocks to do what I need them to do might need to be literally double the size of one of these current rocks. So it's just something to think about that I'm gonna have to take into consideration before. I don't want to mold it again and have it not be right. I'll look at more reference pictures again. And you know what, Glitch? Maybe I'll take a look at what rocks you got. Maybe I will. But either way, let's kill the music. Let's see here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I think we got a new follower. Who was that? Big shout out to them. Shogun, thank you so much for the follow. And Pappy, thank you so much for the resubscribe. I bet you could make a couple of prototypes and then you can choose. That's a good idea. Yeah, I only made this one so quickly though because yesterday or the day before, I forget what it was, I had gone through and made all the lumber and I had casted everything like the stones and all that stuff yesterday. And even then before stream, I grinded them down and sanded them and stuff. So there was plenty of time off stream, probably way more than I spent today on this, working on this project. So, yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to think on this one, but you're probably right. Maybe it'd be a good idea to just prototype a few of them out, see what they look like standing next to him. Because the other idea is how much do I want the fire pit to be so large in the diorama? Like it's becoming its own character in the diorama, which is kind of cool, but at the same time, kind of like really annoying too. So we got to think about these things. But anyways, I'll be back tomorrow, guys. If you're watching this now or in the future, you haven't liked or subscribed, please do so, particularly on YouTube. If you haven't gone and subscribed to my channel on YouTube, creatively_cursed, please do that. I'm trying to build out the YouTube channel. If you haven't joined the Discord, go do that. You can post your artwork, see what other people are posting. It's a very small community right now, but we're trying to grow it. And anything you guys can do would be super appreciated. So thank you guys so much. And I will see you guys all tomorrow with more fire fun time. So peace out.